Officially, good welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our brand new, enhanced, finally working, super S tier nuclear necro. And this time we're going to be playing Bone Spear in combination with maximum corpse explosion. Okay, we will use the Black River, and we probably will use the Litless Wall as well to truly make us an absolutely undying calamity, to bring everything up like crazy from a damage perspective. And we are also using the brand new node. I won't keep this from you, Chan, but in the Flesh Eater board, there's an attack speed node, which makes me, I have to redo every single Paragon board now. Okay, like this is crazy, but I have to redo every single Paragon board because I want this node in every blood build, every corpse explosion build. I mean, hell, every shadow build needs this too. How did I miss this? Okay, first things first though. Let's put the skills down. And the skills was a little bit tricky because we needed all the points in Bone Spear, right? So everything in Bone Spear. The problem when you're putting everything in Bone Spear is, and also in Imperfectly Balanced, and technically also in Unliving Energy, that we're kind of like, we need all the points in Corpse Explosion as well. So now you have Bone Spear and Corpse Explosion, everything in. And technically you want all the points in Harvest, right? So we're already half the points gone, and we haven't really invested. We're probably going to play Decrepify, but I'll leave that open for now. We need 1 point in Serration at least, 3 points in Compound Fracture, and 3 points in Evulsion. Probably won't need Serration. We need this and that. So we get 10 points left over. We're right now rocking Bone Storm, Spear, Explosion. We are Blood Mist. See? 24 Blood Mist. And technically, to make this build the most efficient, you want Blood Mist with all the points in as well. And we missed Corpse Tendrils, by the way. Corpse Tendrils makes vulnerable? Probably. Corpse Tendrils, Blood Mist, and guess we could use Curse. I don't see anything else you'd be using instead of Curse. That's like the thing, because there's no ability that would aid us in any way, so might as well use Curse, even though we don't need the cooldown reduction. That's like the thing. We don't need the cooldown reduction of the Curse. Maybe we should just play hard to Decrepify to kill things. But because realistically, like, the cooldown reduction doesn't do anything for us. If I use Spirit, the problem with Spirit is right now that we do not want to lose our essence ever, and we're doing so much damage that the Spirit is useless. The thing is, you would use Spirit as an area clear, right? But that's makes no sense because we're using Corpse Explosion as an area clear already. So it would make sense though to use Decrepify, because this is when enemies are 10%, okay? When you or your minions hit an enemy afflicted with Decrepify below 10% life, they're instantly killed. That's a lot. My problem here is, you can see right now that we can't even take amplified damage. So that is a bummer. Which means we'd have to take the 2 points out of Grim Harvest. And I would really not like to do that. But I don't see anything else that we could be taking points out of as of right now. And we are missing out on Inspiring Leader as well, which is kind of like a 230. That's what I said the problem with like putting all the points into Corpse Explosion and also Bone Spear. Gonna do. I mean, we could yoink the points out of Unliving Energy. Might do this, but every point more of Essence is more damage, right? So 9 points more of Essence is like good damage. But that is actually more damage. Spirit could be good when it's 0 essence. You're never at 0 essence. So the thing is, like, you're never at 0 essence, right? Like you're never going to the point with this build where you're at 0 essence. Never. There's never the point where you're like, oh no, what happened? Why am I at 0? Doesn't happen. Ever. We're finally bringing back the Litless Wall right now. I don't know if I have a 925 at this point. This one has... Where's the attack speed? This one has more essence. Yeah, I'm gonna take this one because this one has a higher essence, but per se. It's still not good. I'm still looking like for the perfect Litless Wall, if I'm honest with you. It's been like quite the while to get that. More essence is good. Every point of essence counts. Every point of essence is damage. you apply Decrepify more than once, does the first one get overwritten? Example on 2 different groups of nearly at the time. Yes, so every new instance of Decrepify erases the old instance of Decrepify, I think. So if there are only 5 seconds, if 5 seconds is less, and then you overcast it, then it's not 15 seconds, then it's 10 seconds again, right? We are going to be taking the Deathless Visage. So we're not playing Harlequin Crest because Deathless Visage is too good to ignore. I'm not sure. Do I have a 925 Deathless Visage? No, I only have one single one. Okay, so Deathless Visage also nice because 15 maximum essence. So we're going for 142 essence. We're getting there. I will not use in this build today Melted Heart. So technically the Melted Heart of Selig is insane, chat. Because the Melted Heart of Selig gives us a lot of essence. But I dislike using Uber Uniques for my builds, so I will not do this, okay? Because I want you to also have all the gear for this. I mean, we're taking my standard amulet, which is... No, where's my corpse skill amulet? Where is my corpse skill? This one. This gives me ranks to amplify damage, fortify, damage reduction, everything. It's technically my magnum opus, my strongest amulet everywhere. My Necro with your build, 30 more levels to go. Let's go, Zaki. You got this. What's new with this build? Well, it's going to be the combination of Black River and Bone Spear to have the insane boss clearing speed, but at the same time, the crazy dungeon clearing speed. It's going to be forming both concepts to really make Bone Spear even more broken than it has ever been. It's kind of actually illegal where this will be going. And for that, we use Black River Visage. We're going to use Listless Wall. We have the Ring of Sacrilegious Souls, which could technically go out, but we won't actually put it out. We will probably play Exposed Flesh too for the Essence regeneration. So we have our Ring of Exposed Flesh, but I got the real one. This one here. See, it's critical strike chance, critical strike damage, physical damage, and lucky hit chance. My favorite ring. I think it's insane. And especially because we have a 48 Exposed Flesh. So that's nice. The Flicker Step can actually go out. We need the Bone Spear gloves. That was Bone Spear with attack speed and dexterity. No lucky hit. That's a bit weak. This one had critical strike chance, willpower. Yeah, but they also didn't have lucky hit. Could I reroll a stat on this one? Because I needed lucky hit on this as well. Because if you don't have lucky hit on your gloves, I mean, your thingy is automatically working less efficient. You're tempted to buy the new barb set. What do we have here? I'll check. Give me a second. Gibbo, thank you for the 82 months of support. Gibbo, very good to see you there. How you doing, brother? Is it still good? Yes, Inferno. Nothing changed about that one. So the Bone Spear monster is still great. We're just taking things to the next level. Right? We're always just trying to improve things. We're always bringing things further. Oh well, that's also not bad, but also not good. So yeah, we got the gloves. I wanted to see, can I reroll a stat on this? The dexterity was rerolled, but we're already at 2 million rerolling. And there we go. Do you have lucky hit for me? You don't have lucky hit for me. Why don't you have lucky hit for me? I mean, seriously, thank you very much. So that was solved, Chad. Solved. It would be better if there was also critical strikes on these gloves, but we'll take it. Okay, so we get the gloves. We have now another 9 ranks in Bone Spear. We got 15 ranks in Corpse Explosion so far. We could take a Pens with more ranks in Corpse Explosion, so we could take Pens. What I'm asking myself is... My T-Bolt's Will is really interesting for this build, but we don't have... Like, only because for the max resource. It's really just that. It's like, the only reason to play T-Bolt's Will is max resource. This was maximum life, total armor, and Bone Storm thingy. You might just put this on for the time being. Even though it has no damage reduction value that actually works for us, but it gives us 4 ranks in Corpse Explosion, bringing us up to 18 right now. Our chest piece. Do we have a better chest piece? Yeah, in this one I need a juggernaut chest. I still don't think I have more chests. I'm literally struggling because the amount of chests I have is so low. Like I suck. I seriously suck. There was maximum life, physical damage. Oh, that was my pull together chest. I still stink at getting good chest pieces. I'd usually play Soulbron, but Soulbron just doesn't work for this. We'll have to probably reroll. I'll have to probably reroll this chest from Blood Mist over to... I really don't want to do that. Yeah, we need another Juggernaut aspect. What can I say, chat? We need another Juggernaut. Luckily, I have so many of these. It's crazy. Technically, my 9,000 armor might be enough. Let's see. Let's do Paragon board first. So we got Tempest with breaking support. Then we'll be adding not arcing. We'll add resource because we actually do need resource support for this one. Get that done. That's safeguard tactical duration, so that stays. Flash of adrenaline for bonus damage. So now we have to change some things though. First and foremost, we have our mages sacrificed for vulnerable. That one is still sacrificed for crit. And technically I want to sacrifice these for critical strike chance, so I don't have to take the resistances. But if I don't take the resistances, I need to somehow max this out now myself. Might have to change the rings here. Let's see if I can min-max around with this so I can actually take the crit strike. Because more crit strike is more crit strike, so we might have to like play a little bit around with these. First and foremost, we need the exhumation glyph. Because we're like, this changes. Like usually you would never play exhumation in this, right? But we are now in need of actually playing the maximum amount of corpse damage because we're also trying to get the maximum amount of corpse damage, which is very good since if we play the maximum amount of corpse damage, what are we getting, chat? Who knows what are we getting if we play the maximum amount of corpse damage? Who wants to take a guess? We're also getting fortified. No, we're getting fortified. Yeah. So this is something the build technically struggles with fortification. Okay, let's go into the Flesh Eater board and try out the new thing that I wanted to do. So for the Flesh Eater board, we now officially have to start like this. Then we take lucky hit chance to execute, injured non-elites, attack speed. We take double intelligence. And then we would still take amplify, for example. Actually, in this case, we could take corporal because that's more. And then in order to get out of the board, we would still go out like this. Boom, 40. And now we need to go on this side because we need the crit. Good. And that brings us into the bone graft board. The bone graft board is so costly. But we need everything in this. We're starting here. So these are the minimal ones we need. Maximum essence and maximum essence technically. The essence on kill can go away. I mean, we could leave this essence on kill out. So instead of taking 1, 2, 3, 4, you could do 1, 2, 3. So you could do these. So you can leave that node away because that leaves this essence on kill out. It's kind of can kind of work. Actually, we need to go for this. And this is the essence glyph that comes in here. Mainly because it is take all of them. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of like the same, right? If I go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this doesn't change anything. So I still have to go out. Like if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, then I still have to go out here. Will Juggernaut get used? Most likely, but we're not entirely sure. Did you try a rebuild? No, I'm not going to be doing a rebuild. Absolutely not. That sounds like the most horrible thing I've heard in a long while. Usually we go for mostly dexterity to push our crits. Okay, technically we also want to take this. So we want to keep the path open to also take that. There's so many points wasted for this. And we need all the crits from here. And yes, I'm taking always the same way into this board, chat, but I also have not found a better way into this board yet. I wish there was a better way, but I simply can't think of any to really get into this board better. And always end up like this. Okay, what does my resistance say? My resistance is currently... It's not bad. Poison and fire is up there. Could take another 1.5, but that wouldn't do anything. We have all the 1.5s taken here, so this one doesn't go higher. Everything taken down there. There's like not more resistance anymore anywhere that we could take. When we have here poison resistance, so you could like claim this poison resistance, but that's too many points. You could claim shadow resistance. Not even the most horrible thought, because there's shadow resistance on max life, just like that. You know, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And you get just shadow resistance up to the max. Interesting. Bass, good to see you there. I mean, right now, we got to think about what other glyphs to play, because we only have 3 glyphs activated yet. We need 4, and we definitely need a 5th. So technically, our main damage would be Imbiber, but I think also that would cost me too much to do right now. You would have to go for this. Usually take that one as well. Imbiber is good damage. Shall never be underestimated. But I can't really invest the points into Imbiber that I would to right now. I mean, we're at 20. And if I want to get anything else activated, I can literally just make it 30 points and that's about it. How do you share stash between your characters? It's automatically shared between your characters. You don't have to share. It is shared. Like, you don't have to actively do anything. You just have to exist. This would be a very easy board to take. Because this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we could take the exploit glyph if we want for bonus damage versus vulnerable. And also get damage while fortifying. Actually kind of nice. Right? This is a new bone spear, yes, and we're currently trying to min-max things the best. I mean, we're sitting at 10,000 armor, which is technically enough. We're sitting at 16,000 life, which is a bit weak. We have our glyphs activated, 5, which is good. We could take the armor node out. We are currently in need of pushing our... Like, the problem is I need to take all 3 armor gems out to get more crit chance. Our crit chance is currently sitting at 40%. And maybe that's overdoing it a little bit. But I'm at 40% crit chance. If I now put this away... Okay, Chad? I put this away. I'm resistanced out. Congratulations. But I also go down to 29.7. Now, we do get 30% from Grasping Veins. And we do get 20% from our... we do get 20% from our Bone Storm. But I feel like more is more, right? More is more, Chad. More is more. How can we say no to that free crit chance? So right now I would take... And look how shitty this... look how painful this is. This is 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah, just to make it look less painful. And that would allow me to technically take this one very easy. Looks a bit better. Still not happy with it. But otherwise, this would look painful. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, like this, we would get another max life and shadow resistance. But that shadow resistance allows our shadow resistance to be resistanced out. So now we have shadow resistance, fire resistance, and poison resistance resistanced out. And if I would just have a little bit more intelligence, I would push this further, because every point of intelligence gives us how much resistance? We get 20% from 781 points. So we could squeeze a little bit. I mean, I could play 1 diamond probably. So we have to take the gems out, which lowers our armor again. But I could play 1 diamond. That would put us here. Oh, that's actually really good. How much that diamond did. Yikes. Okay, we could just play a diamond and then just die happy, I guess. Do I don't even need the shadow resistance if I do this. How the fuck? Yeah, I wouldn't even need it anymore. Then I could also take the armor out here if I want to, because if I don't need the armor, I can play things a bit different. You know? I just need the 10 in there. Do that. So we're playing Juggernaut, right? I can just minimize the points I spend on armor since I'm using Juggernaut, so fuck the armor. How much in are we at? How much resistances? We are at a 0.7, 12, 0.7, 0. Yeah, okay, perfect. So this is exactly what we want. Awesome. Now, I could use these 9 points to actually get another 8% max life plus, because we're currently at 16,000 life, right? So these 9 points have 2 options. I can get more life. I could also get more damage while healthy. I could get... Alright, so we could get more damage while healthy. We could get more points into Imbiber. We could get the essence on kill. And right now, the one that makes most sense to me would be index, maximum life, maximum life, maximum life, maximum life. That's just a huge boost, general. And we have 1 more point. Oh, by the way, this one here could actually be swapped over to territorial for bonus damage reduction if we need it, because our damage reduction kind of stings. So check the vulnerable out for territorial, because territorial is not to be underestimated. It's like very good damage reduction. Yeah, we put that point in here. Perfection. Okay, I like this. This is pretty nice. And we get the brand new node, guys. There's an attack speed node. Did you know this? There's an attack speed node. How is this a thing? How does this exist? Playing Bloodwinds with Black River, still no success in a 100 level dungeon. Oh, it's insane. How are you not having success? The game is such a the build is such a no-brainer. Yeah, but like Tommy, I will use this for the Bloodlands build as well. Okay, this is so good. Like I'm very happy. So we're at 9,000 armor. That means we definitely need to put on Juggernaut, guys. So now Juggernaut is a must. I need a different chest piece though. Because our chest piece doesn't need to have total armor anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finally take 1,000 obolts and see if we can get a new chest piece, okay? Tunic. See if we can get anything. I mean, I would prefer to get a 925 one, but screw this right now. Maybe I'm getting like a 900 plus one here. Thorns. Just want like two damage or 3 damage reduction stats and maybe max life, something in that direction. Yeah, okay. How about no damage reduction stats and nothing? How about nothing with a little bit of nothing on top of that? Yeah. Would that be acceptable? I mean, the best part is just the amount of shit that we have. Like, so I can just make a buttload of new bone skill damage. Well, we don't need bone skill damage. We need physical damage. That's very important. Because bone skill damage in this case is not what helps us, since our damage is actually like bone skill damage is physical damage, but corpse explosion is also physical damage. So you want more physical damage, essentially. It's like very important to learn about this build. That also the crit with bone skills is kind of like, eh. And my problem is right now that our crit is only 704% because we can't take crit on the weapon. It's like, there's a lot of crit that's actually missing out too. But it's really good because the damage of the bone spear is just so insane. Okay, let's see. Damage reduction, darkness skill damage. See, this has physical damage, but it's useless. That is intelligence plus shadow damage, darkness skill damage. I just want damage reductions. Like, seriously, like, it can't be that hard to find a chest with decent damage reductions. It can't be that hard, right? Oh, seriously. Why are you hating me? Do I not have, like, a max life chest somewhere just lying around? I should have just a standard max life chest, right? Right, Chad? Surely. If you run Starless Skies, no, if you run Starless Skies, you're going to drop exposed flesh, and you're going to deal with not having exposed flesh. Simple as it is. I had a chest with max life, right? Just a standard dolly. See this one. See, this one had like damage reduction from close, and damage reduction while fortified. This one was so cool, right? Right? That's not a bad chest. If you could now roll this into maximum life or something, that would be fine. Surely. I mean, this is fist damage, total armor, and maximum life. You know what? That one is actually good. Suck it. Suck it. We don't need the total armor, but it kind of has everything I want, apart from like an actual damage reduction stat. Apart from an actual damage reduction stat, but like it's at least my blight pulled together chest. Okay, we need Juggernaut. Okay, then if we play Juggernaut, we would probably change the boots. Change the boots. We need boots with essence cost reduction. I still don't have boots with that. That's actually, this is crazy. We have movement speed boots, sure, with dexterity, nice. But the rest is useless on this. We have essence cost reduction and bone spirit. That's kind of good. We have movement speed, but very low level. There is there's Penitent Greaves. This one had. Should I try to roll boots, Chad? This one had movement speed, dex, int, and all stats. So this one is actually really good in terms of just boosting our stats, so we are more sturdy. This has essence cost reduction, all stats, int, and willpower. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that one. Suck it. Because it had essence cost reduction. Essence cost reduction for bone spear is really important because the less bone spear cost, the best it is. But we're gonna use Wind Striker on it probably, right? This one didn't have movement speed, right? Stat boots, I don't know. Stat boots are insane. Hey, don't you talk about my stat boots like that. We can hear willpower can go away for movement speed. Come on. Come on, movement speed. Movement speed. Thank you. Thank you very much. There you go. And then we put on Wind Striker. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, shall we try to kill... I mean, tier 100 dungeon is obviously simple, so that one is not even a challenge. Like, really? Not with this build. So what we're combining now is Black River together with Bone Spear to, well, go crazy. Sven, are you going to play Last Epoch too? Yes, we're going to be trying Last Epoch at least, but I will not go as in depth as I go with Diablo most likely. Let's leave the artillery shrine behind. See, like our bone spear is essentially doing like all the crazy damages, but at the same time our corpse explosion is just exploding these nerds as well, while our bone storm is keeping us wholly healthy. Boom. And that's where the build truly shines, because now you get like this absolute destruction that still bone spear is, right? And if you have one single opponent that you need killed, you just kill him extremely fast, as you see there, right? There's like no single target damage struggles. And look at my essence, how my essence never goes below. I wish I had more maximum essence on things, but like you see here how my essence just is like consistently popping. Whole room just died. Not actually sure where. I think I could get more max essence on a ring. That's what I could get. Not even sure if I want to bother with the Son of Malphus here, because he's just a time waste. It's not like, you know, like it's not an actual can we do it question. It's more like, do we really want to be bothered to do this? I mean, like, you notice we do the damage, right? Do the damage to the Son of Malphus, but do we really want to be bothered? I would kill the Butcher now, but like for the Son of Malphus, I have no patience. Even as a bone spear build. Son of Malphus has too much HP. Well, not for a barb. Son of Malphus has the exact great amount of HP for a barb. And yeah. But for every other class, apart from, I think Rogue can also probably kill him like really fast. But yeah, Son of Malphus is just a waste of your time. I swear, even after building this Necro, Son of Malphus, the Butcher still wrecks you. I mean, Butcher is easy, but you still need to play good. But I mean, like you know, it's the important part. You still need to play good. You need to make sure that you bury us up. You need to, like, you know, you're not getting a freebie there. Like how efficient this one just carves through it. I mean, we're definitely do tier 100 as well, chat, because I want to, like, I know how well this does against bosses. So I did this build already secret, chat. I kept this build from you. I've already tried this off stream, and then I reskilled into a different build. So I essentially just one morning locked in, did this build, but we perfected it now. I don't get many barriers with the Army of the Dead build. Well, the Army of the Dead build doesn't have barriers. So now we are essentially getting corpse explosions that hit the whole room, right? While we're also having bone spears that, well, just do what bone spears do. And that all without the Ring of Starless Skies. If we now had the Ring of Starless Skies, obviously our damage would rise tenfold, right? Because then our corpse explosion and our bone spear damage would be times 40%, which is huge. But even without that, right? Ow, sir, I wasn't ready. I think Bone Storm and Limitless would be better for when? For the Army of the Dead build. No, the Army of the Dead build doesn't need Bone Storm or Limitless. There's a reason why I place Army of the Dead. If you play the Army of the Dead build and you add Bone Spear instead of Blight and everything, then it's a complete different build. That is essentially just this build in weaker. Now, in order to make this stronger, what could help is getting Genesis. That's also another 30% multiplicative damage, right? Straight up Genesis. I mean, you notice even with bad damage reduction, correct? Even with the bad damage reduction, we're still just going through this like there's no tomorrow. Let's check for a new chest piece. Oh, that's actually a max roll on the cool things. Technically, what you could still take with you is in a boss fight that you have an offhand with you. Wow, this is an amazing offhand. What the fuck? That offhand is crazy. Why? Why is that offhand so crazy? So you could take a boss fighting offhand with you. It's really important. Since mostly, why not? Wow, critical strike damage, bone skills. Wow. Like let me reiterate here. Like this offhand, why is this so insane? What does it do, guys? It does essence cost reduction. That's amazing, correct? It does lucky hit chance. Cool. Then it does up to a 5% chance to restore 12 primary resource. It's not a lot, but 5% on a 70% lucky hit chance is quite decent. Now, if I could also have this get a critical strike, that'd be kind of nice. I don't want my money anyways. I hate money. Money stings. Oh, that's lucky hit chance while you have barium. That would also work. So if we're now going for boss fights, the Litless Wall is mostly not worth it in a boss fight because they're so fast over. You're saying, why play Litless Wall? Like the Bone Storm lasts for 10 seconds and in 10 seconds the fight is over. The one thing we're losing though is 12 Essence, and 12 Essence is less awesomeness. But this offhand is truly something nice for, like, here, if you put this on, you get another 10% essence cost reduction, lucky hit chance. So our lucky hit chance goes up tremendously. And our Bone Spear goes also from 23 down to 21. So 2 essence less per cast, which is kind of nice. I still prefer like this, but it's kind of nice to have. And we're actually getting another aspect slot. So right now we would be playing the Bone Spear aspect for bone spearing. We would have the Grasping Veins, which we need. We have the Circle of Exposed Flesh for actually the resource generation. And technically, you don't even need this one for resource generation. So we could even play... we play Serration. But what we can do here right now is, if we play the offhand, and that's where it gets really interesting versus bosses, you have the aspect slot to put in either Conceited. Conceited is nice. But what I would rather put in over Conceited is I would put in Serration. Because Serration gives us essentially another 40% multiplicative damage to our critical strikes on the Bone Spear. Now here comes the question. What makes more sense? To put something in where I get even more critical strike damage on my Bone Skills, or if I put in the Conceited, because Conceited would also push the Corpse Explosion, right? So that's a little bit like the right? Like if you now choose to only go for this one, because the multiplier on this one is just insane, but it essentially does not profit us. We could also take is the one where we stand still and just get a bonus damage multiplier, right? Now, do I have Varshan so we could just kill Varshan just once at least, or do we have a tier 100 dungeon? Blind Barrows doesn't have Collapse Vault, Deserted Underpass, Prison of Kildeum, Shifter Ruin. I don't remember if Shifter Ruins had a boss, Chan. Path of the Blind. Does Path of the Blind have a boss? Does the Serpent's Lair have a boss? I really don't know, Chan. Does the Prison of Kildeum have a boss? Going to Shifter. Did Shifter? What's your rarest item? Am I crazy to hope for the Grandfather? No, you're not crazy. You can just farm the Grandfather. It's just going to be boring and not fun. We'll bring out a build guide. Yes, we'll definitely bring out a build guide. But this is like here essentially the life test to show you how the build is made and to fine tune the build. to really get to the point where it's just perfect. Okay, so for the dungeon push itself, you're gonna put this one out again. But didn't Shift of Ruins have a boss? Yeah, Shift of Ruins had a weird boss. Didn't it have this? Oh, there was an 8 million corpse explosion there. Just now, Chan. I mean, we know how high the corpse explosion can go, but it's just funny to see in it, like, you know. I know I could do these, but it's just always fun to actually see it in the wild. No way to rewind the stream. Well, on Twitch, not. That's why we're also streaming on YouTube. You feel the need to rewind the stream. There's many reasons why YouTube is actually a very good streaming platform, and being able to rewind the stream is one of them. Plus the obviously better stream quality, because YouTube is just superior in that case. Do you even need exposed flesh? So the thing about exposed flesh is, as you can see, my essence is always full. That bone spear does the most damage if your essence is full. So it's not even like, so the reason I'm keeping my essence full here is not only a convenience reasons. It's not just like it looks cool, but you essentially, like, you notice how I'm not just pumping out bone spears like crazy. I'm essentially just doing 2 bone spears, and then I'm stopping to do bone spears. And the main reason for that is that it's just not worth it to, like, pump your essence completely empty, because every bone spear at max essence cast is a maximum damage bone spear. Every bone spear not at max essence cast does less damage. So the more you have max essence and the more you take care that your essence is max, the better it just is when you're playing this. And I think that's like the main mistake that a lot of people do when they play bone spear, and that I did in the beginning as well. I did this in the beginning, right? Just truly, like, spam away everything. Just don't look even like you know, at your essence bubble, and just hurl everything out, because why not? And you wonder, like, why am I not dealing as much damage as I could? And that's the thing. Like, we have the corpse explosion now to also deal damage for us, so you don't even need your bone spear to do all the damage. And that's where the interesting thing comes in, that you can, again, even use less essence, because the less essence you use, the more damage you deal. But the less essence you use, the more damage you can also then just on the side deal with a corpse explosion. Right? So that's like the thing. Like, if you literally see an opponent or a boss, and this is like your first instinct, right? You see an opponent or a boss, and this is what you do. That's bad. Boom. Why is this bad? Again, the serration aspect, or your ossified key passive. Okay, ossified key passive gives us 60% multiplicative bonus damage on full essence. So if I now cast with full essence, 60% plus. But if I then cast now again and I don't have full essence, I don't get 60%, right? I get only 52. And then the next cast is also less and less and less and less, until you end up where instead of getting like a 60% multiplier on your damage, you end up with only getting 20%. You kind of wonder, why do I do so few damage? Am I not cursing the whole run through? I didn't curse a single time, chat, right? So now for the boss fight, we could pull out our offhand if we want to. Which kind of brings me to the point where if I do that with the offhand, I need to play Abhorrent Decrepify for the cooldown reduction. And we're still using this. We curse this. We stand a bit back. And again, don't blast everything out, right? Use your thingies. Get it down. And you notice, like, this is a tier 100 boss, chat. Does this look convincing to you? What's happening to this poor tier 100 boss? Oh, my barrier. Oh, and he's dead. Boom. See, and this is where the build is actually really good in tier 100 dungeons, right? Where you're able to now use Bone Spear to kill things really fast. I mean, what we could do right now, we could get a Duriel, right, John? Shall we try to get a Duriel for you, so we can actually kill a Duriel with this? Is there any way to fit a Ring of Sacrilegious? The Ring of Sacrilegious is in. The way to fit Ring of Sacrilegious is in by just putting it in, because it is in. Okay, 20 minutes. I mean, the build also, John. So you know how a standard Bone Spear is actually good for the overworld. Cadaver's Aspect. It's not even a terrible plan. We could try it out. We could try it out. It's not a bad idea. Like you're like, the problem is that the cadavers is conditional. So like we can read out the cadavers for you in a second, guys. And then you can decide what you think about it, if it makes sense or not. Oh, that's good. We wait for this to come down. Always perfect when that happens. Why do you want these demons to fall down, guys? Forgotten Souls, because they usually do also drop Forgotten Souls, and that makes them so much worth it. Oh, by the way, that was the boss fight without the Litless Wall, guys. If I now had the Litless Wall, for example, I would essentially make more Bone Storms, and these bonus Bone Storms would also continuously refill my essence. And that's where it's always like the question in boss fights, if it is so good to actually drop the Bone Storm. Because technically, yes, you could do more damage with the offhand, but if you have the other Bone Storm happening, the other Bone Storm will help you to continuously replenish essence. So it's a little bit like, I mean, what's better there? It's only your next core skill. It could still lead to quite some damage. Let's find a position where I can activate an event and just sit AFK around, and then we can talk about the Cadaver's Aspect. We're going to farm Black River at Duriel. Duriel, you do 10 Duriels and you definitely have a Black River. And 10 Duriels are going to take you... What chat? What's 10 Duriels going to take you? 2-3 hours of farming? I mean, technically, you only... Like, this is the stupid thing about Diablo right now. And what really makes me mad, personally. Like, in order to get 10 Duriels, you'll farm the materials for 2 Duriels, which takes you... I mean... 30 minutes to an hour, right? So you farm the materials for 2 Duriels, and then you just find 3 other people to play with, and then you do more Duriels. And this is like what the stupid thing about this game is. Sure, this is an ARPG. Sure, this is like, sure, this is also a massive multiplayer online game. But in order to get the best items in the game, you're kind of forced to play with a team. And it leaves just like a bitter taste in my mouth that the game design is not intended for you to achieve things solo. Like, it feels so forced. It's like they're shoving it down your throat. And like, there's only one thing I like shoved down my throat, and I can't say that live on stream because it's like PG-18. But like, seriously. I don't need to be forced to play with a team, right? To have the best outcome. This feels kind of silly. Food. It's food. It's food. Exactly. Food. Not foot. Food. You're right. So you're essentially forced to... At what time are you tuning in, Ruthless? Exactly at the perfect time. At the times where if you have speakers, you have a hard time explaining what you're watching to your partner. That kind of time. Rock hard ice cream. Yeah. Sure. Wouldn't say no to that. If you were thinking something else, that's on you. Like seriously, then you need Jesus. I'm innocent. Like, I'm saying things, and like whatever your mind does, that's you. That's between you and Jesus. Right? You've been spending like too much time on TikTok probably, or something like that. Just literally having like a normal adult conversation about shoving food down your throat. strudel. I haven't had a strudel in a while. All right, strudel would be good. Okay, we actually already have almost enough for the first chest. I could even get both chests. Yikes. I mean, I was hoping I could get both chests this Helltide. Might just lock out, right? But we also wanted to talk about the cadavers aspect, chat. So I need to quickly pull up the cadavers aspect because I want you to, and this is why we're doing this live on stream. I want you to give your opinion on this. So what would you say if we're now going for Necromancer? There's an aspect, and I never used this, but for this build it might be. So consuming a corpse increases the damage of your next core skill by 50%. So you consume 5 corpses and you would get 50% bonus damage on your next core skill. And technically every second we're consuming 5 corpses if they're there. Now the intriguing part is that would be 50% bonus damage, right? But if we're looking at the aspect of serration, the aspect of serration says the ossified key passive also increases the critical strike damage of your bone skills by 40% multiplicative. So that one only needs me to be above 90 essence. Okay, 90 essence, that's in. And I would already get the maximum value. So as much as I would like to look at cadavers in some way because it's interacting, is it really good? Because I need to consume corpses for it to work. And if I'm not consuming corpses, it doesn't work. So, and the ossified essence only needs me to be above 90 essence. Why 90 essence, guys? 90 essence is 50 essence plus 40. And that is the 40% bonus damage, right? One point per point of essence. So that's why you need to be above that level. And that's where I'm like, I mean, that sounds like way better than having to consume corpses, right? Depends on what you leave out. No, it's just the question for boss fighting. So right now we have the little wall for boss fighting, but we could essentially take an offhand for boss fighting as well to essentially like make us even more deadly, right? That's where the cadavers aspect could technically be good. I think if one corpse would give already... So right now I need to consume 5 corpses to get the maximum value. And it's only for one attack, right? I think if it was like 1 corpse for 25% plus, it would be worth it. Because right now it's really 5 corpses for 50% plus. 5 for 50. That's too much, Chan. I mean, 5 for 50 is just silly. Because and then for 1 skill. I mean, it would be if the cadavers aspect would say something like for every corpse consumed, right, you deal X% more damage for X seconds. I mean, that would be cool, right? Broken, but cool. But then you could at least boost your core skill damage. So that would be nice. If it would say like, I don't know, 1 corpse for 25% plus, that's cool because then every consumed corpse is 25% plus. Also, if it wasn't limited, it would be cool. I mean, right now it's kind of like every corpse consumed up to 50%, but then only for the next skill. But if it was like, if you consume X corpses, get X damage on your next skill, but if the X is infinite, then you could at least get like these super banger hits, right? But I think I would prefer seconds, like a bonus fueled by death. But because at the current state, the way it is, it's kind of like too conditional to be useful. Like it's an X condition with a limit. I mean, it's a condition plus a limit. That's like not good, right? Condition and limit. That's horrible. It feels like the aspect, cadavers aspect. So I like to make fun of Blizzard in this regard, Chan. But we all know that they essentially created 50 good affixes, right? Affixes on items. They made 50 good ones, like total armor, maximum life, critical strike chance, damage, all this kind of stuff. And then they told an intern to make another 100 ones to just fill empty slots. Because, like, sorry, like, why would barrier generation, blood orb pickup, damage, all this like crowd control, duration reduction, why would all these aspects exist if not just for beefing up the pool of affixes, right? And the same kind of goes for aspects. It was like, okay, every class needs 50 aspects. Let's go, Chan. And then they created like some, and how many do we really use? How many aspects do we have, and how many aspects for your class? I'm not talking Necro Chad. You play other classes too. So how many aspects does your class have? But how many of those are dead aspects that are not even considered? That are in the game, but like there's no world in no build, like no world in no build where you'll use them. And there's a bunch of them where you're like, why are you in the game? It's not even that they're just simply bad. They're just literally failed concepts, you know? They're just a failed design concept. Like, this aspect does not make sense the way it exists. Sad face. That's not good. I mean, they even introduced this weird aspect for essence regeneration with the Shadow Blight key passive. Because like whenever the Shadow Blight key passive damages, then you get essence back, and you're like, cool, that's really, really nice. The only problem is that the shadow builds, you know, the shadow builds, they're not using any essence. So there's shadow builds out there, right? But the main problem is that every good shadow build, for most of the shadow builds, they're essence less builds that don't use essence. So why again do we make a shadow essence regeneration skill that gives us essence back as like did you even think about what this is useful for? Because there's no build to use it in, right? They made an aspect and it's just like, why did you make this? There's in 6 months of Diablo, and now you could say maybe we're not creative enough, chat. You know what? Maybe we're not creative. Maybe we're the problem. Maybe we suck. Maybe we just didn't think about that secret build that every Blizzard dev is playing. But I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. Like, I'll show you the aspect. Please remind me, chat, as we're done with this here, that I'll show you the aspect, and you tell me what are you going to use this on. I'm open to accept that maybe we are stupid, chat. I mean, there's a world, correct? Where we are just lacking the imagination, or where we don't understand why something was created, and maybe there is a hidden build. Unlikely. Very, very unlikely. Like, close to non-existent. So like, yeah. Absolutely unlikely, actually. But maybe. Very slim. Non-existent chance that we are the issue. Maybe because they made Diablo 4 only as a product to bring as much money as possible. Tiger, that's not a good argument. Because obviously they made Diablo to make as much money as possible. So the fact number one, yes, obviously they made Diablo to make as much money as possible. That's not an argument. That's just like, it's a company, sure. But that doesn't explain flawed designs, you know? Because yes, point A, the game wants to make as much money as possible. Yes, the shareholders, overall game design, Rod Ferguson, that dude, he's liable. Like, he just wants to make money. Like, he got told to make as much money as possible. But that doesn't explain why the actual class designers, why the actual people that, you know, that the creative people, not the people that are supposed to maximize revenue, the creative people, why they suck. I mean, like literally, like if I was asked to make a Necro aspect, there's so much more you could make than the Shadow one. Like, I'll pull up the Shadow one in a second, okay? Like, the will to maximize revenue does not explain the lack of creativity or the obvious, like, screw up of existing abilities. And you're dead. Perfection. Love this build. So much fun. Truly a no-brainer build. Where is the... There are placeholder aspects and we're just beta testing. That is also true. But it still doesn't explain why it exists. The lack of... It doesn't make sense. I mean, you seriously ask. So if you're the Diablo 4, like, so let's assume you're working at Diablo 4, guys, right? Let's assume you're the guy that's making the Necro aspects, and now you get charged with making a new Necro aspect. So step one in my eyes would be you just check out the builds from season 2, builds from season 1, right? And you're just checking, like, what are people playing, what's going on, and what are problems in these builds, right? Technically. And then you would maybe make an aspect that fixes these problems. At least that's how I would see, like, the workflow. Maybe I'm being ludicrous again. That's how I kind of see the workflow. So where is my... Boink. Oh, please leave me alone. I just want to teleport out. So the aspect we're talking about, by the way, chat, was... So another of these interesting Necro aspects. Wait, it should be in the game, actually. Wait. It should be in the game under... Oh. It's called Aspect of the Long Shadow. Okay. Lucky hit. Your shadow damage over time effects have a 30% chance to generate 3 essence. Lucky hit. So you need to lucky hit. Then it's only 30% and only 3 essence. Damage from your Shadow Blight key passive will always generate 2 essence. Point 1, Shadow Blight key passive makes essence, and then you have a lucky hit chance to make more essence. The thing is, if you're playing a Shadow build, okay, chat? Any Shadow build. You're playing Corpse Explosion, doesn't use any essence. You're playing Blight, maybe, if you're not playing Reap. So a lot of Shadow builds play Reap. No essence, and if you're using Blight... Your main damage is still Corpse Explosion, and Blight is just mandatory, and then you restore the essence with Grim Harvest anyways. Then you have Corpse Tendrils, which also doesn't produce any essence, which also doesn't need any essence, and you have Decrepify, which is disregarding. So yeah. Why? Oh, and you play Blood Mist, which also doesn't cost any essence. So, yeah. Why is there, like, why? God. Why? Please. I'm open for discourse here. For Melted Heart of Selig, yeah, but even the Melted Heart of Selig build is not playing that because it doesn't need it. So also doesn't make sense. No, even the Melted Heart of Selig build does not need that.
Not while I'm in
town. In your opinion, is it fun to play Diablo after level 50? Yes, absolutely. After level 50, the game just starts, sir. I mean, leveling characters to level 100 is brilliant. I'm not playing Diablo because it gives me clicks. Again, I lost money, Chan. I lost at least $1,000 to $2,000 this season for playing Diablo and not making Palworld videos. Yeah. I'm not playing this because this is the most click thing I could create. I could create way better things. I'm actually enjoying this. So this is where I'm asking just why do these things exist? I will probably make a video about this at some point, but I'm not sure if that is a good video because it's just going to be me complaining. No, like the problem is that the video is like, I kind of like making videos about failed class concepts. The problem is it doesn't lead to anything, right? It doesn't help because it's kind of like, yeah, so this is all the things that are shit right now. But what's the conclusion? Nothing. We can't change it. Look at him die. Woo, 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 woo. That's why we're playing Bone Spear, Corpse Explosion build. This is stupid. To me, it's not. Well, that's okay, Tiger. Diablo 4 is not for everyone. If you don't enjoy Diablo 4 after level 50, that's fine. Then don't play the game. It's like the best way how I can say this. That's like no offense. That's no like you silly goose. Like not every game is for everyone. What's the best way to get Varshan mats? Do whispers. I mean, if you do whispers, there will be these malignant monsters appearing after you finish some whispers. And sometimes, and they give you bonus materials, but literally just doing whispers. You're playing the Corpse Explosion Nuke, Michi, and this is the Corpse Explosion Nuke plus Bone Spear. The good part about all these Corpse Explosion builds is they are very interchangeable. Steps for boss damage, guys. We need to make a corpse that can be corpse tendrilled. Then we need to curse, and then we need to stand like away, and then he just dies. Was there a 5 million corpse explosion in between? Yes, there was a 5 million corpse explosion in between. Level 50 is like 3 hours. I think most people, and chat, please correct us here. Post your time that you have taken to level 50 now. I think most people still take everything around 6 to 10 hours for level 50. I would say. Which is okay. You have any guide on stash management? No. I'm simply unable to have proper stash management, and I'll just simply blame my ADHD for that. I'm not even going to pretend my ADHD. No chance. Like if I start stash, like my brain remembers everything in any stash anyway, so just what it is. There's no need to stash management for me. I'll just, you know, just go with it. It was hardcore viable. Yeah. I mean, ultra tanky, mega damage, undying, unstoppable, calamity.
I cannot do that here.
Nikoja and Tendurus. Well, we currently need to kill Duriel solo for the video portion. Ready? We're going to do solo Duriel. Usually I do it with the community, but right now we need this recorded for the video because we're planning to do a video about this, obviously. And that's why we need to do him solo. Doesn't sound healthy. Could be your brain is overloaded sometimes. No. And always. Loco. No and always. So yes, but usually our Duriel attempts, our Malphus attempts, all that thing is together with the community. Well, we could farm some Malphus materials today to actually like get some more igneous cores and then do Malphus. Okay, so let's do this with the Molten Lotus. Yeah. One, two, 1, 2. See how also Duriel is just dying? And he's like, especially like the random corpse explosion are my favorite fun about this. And then... And that's where the combination of corpse explosion and, well, bone spear is just nasty, right? Is the Necro spear build the same as the one for max roll? Windbar, my builds are not on max roll. And I would assume that my Paragon Borns are more in-depth and sophisticated than what you find on max roll. Not saying that max roll doesn't have good builds, but... You know, I'm Ponyhoff. And I'm very humble. And hung, but humble mostly. What to focus on when you reach level 100? Making a new character. What I do when I get 100 is I try out different builds for the funs. Then I make a new character. Then I try out more different builds for the fun. And then when I played up all the different builds that I enjoy for fun, now I stop playing the game until there's more content. Can I get a link for this build? No, you can't, because this build doesn't exist yet. I mean, we just made it this stream, so you can essentially go back to the start of this stream to check it out. There will be a build video coming tomorrow about this, because this is the official #1 Necro build out there. It's really putting together bone spear and everything. There is a few tweaks that we could consider, like serration. We only have 1 point in serration currently. But do we really need more? Discussion chat. We are currently at 37.8% critical strike chance. Together with our Bone Storm, we are at 57%. And together with our Corpse Tendrils, we're at 87%. And then if we're casting at 160 essence with the serration, I mean, increased critical strike chance for each 30 essence you have up and cast. So if I have 90 essence, I get 1% plus. If I have 120 essence, I get 1.5% plus. Now you could say, hey, Pony, if we had 3 points in this, right? Right, Chad? We had 3 points in this. Then with a 120 essence cast, you would at least get another 4% plus. But what does 4% plus do when we're at 87%? Right? What glyphs are we using? We're currently using a combination of exhumation, and that's a must because that's higher on our core skill damage and it fortifies us. Very good. Then we are taking the brand new node chan, and this is amazing. This is bonus attack speed, and I always ignored that this exists. With the corporal glyph for bonus physical damage, and physical damage boosts corpse explosion and bone spear. Then we're using the essence glyph for bonus critical strikes. Imbiber for damage while healthy. Imbiber could be exploited. I don't see any other. Like, we sadly don't have a physical damage glyph, which is bullshit. We could increase our damage while fortified, but I mean, technically, damage while healthy and damage while fortified are the same. It's just easier to be healthy than fortified. Then again, we're also always fortified. The interesting part is you gain another 10% damage reduction the more fortify you have, right? So if we wanted to be like because the problem with damage while healthy is damage while healthy always works, right? Damage while fortified not always works, but so damage while fortified also always works really, really quick. So we're now thinking about it. What's more useful? Having damage while healthy and then the potion healing plus, or to have Undaunted where you get another 10% damage reduction. Might actually be better. Something to think about. So Vault. Is Littlest Wall redundant in this? No, we are using Littlest Wall, but for a boss fight, it makes no sense, technically. Because you're doing so much damage that after 10 seconds, you're usually done. Right? I mean, if I'm dungeoneering, I put this on. And I go crazy. The thing is, if you're boss fighting... So there's another level to this that I didn't actually talk about. But there's another level to boss fighting that I didn't mention. And I can show you that. Give me a hot moment. So there's another thing you can do. And you want to know what it is? You can play T-Bald's Will. Because right now we're playing a pants that gives us 4 ranks in Corpse Explosion, right? Damage reduction. And it actually gives us Bone Storm. But against a boss, we wouldn't need the Bone Storm, correct? The Bone Storm barrier would be useless against a boss. So if we're now going so far to say that we don't need the Bone Storm boss barrier thingy, right? Then, even though, so very important, even though you only get T-Bald's Will for 4 seconds, you could get another 40% bonus damage on your first 3 casts, which just sound plenty good to me, to be honest. When right now I haven't been activating my Bone Storm the whole time, right? And you did actually notice how we're, despite not activating Bone Storm, are still very healthy. Well, thank you for the 2 gifted. Very appreciated. Also, Alpha, thank you for the 52 months of support. Howdy. Congratulations on the new mount. Alpha, welcome back. Also, chat, if you do have your Prime Gaming subscription, don't forget to use it here on Twitch. We love to see that. Thank you for everyone that's actually here today, enjoying their time, still playing Diablo. To the question if I'm also playing Last Epoch, I will definitely dabble. We actually are planning to play a little bit today. So I am planning to do the first 2-3 hours of checking out Last Epoch. I am not really that much interested in putting too much time in before the 1.0 release, but I wanted to at least check the basics to kind of understand how the game roughly works, right? So it's not like my complete first time on the 1.0 release. Because I do believe that a lot of Diablo 4 people actually want to at least see what Last Epoch is, or want to see someone who enjoys Diablo 4 as much as I do, like how they feel about Last Epoch. That's also what we're going to be checking out, but not with the intention of leaving Diablo behind, because it's just like not planning ever to leave Diablo behind. It's a good fun game to make content for, even though the content is limited, right? Necrobot, yeah. I only play Necros. You know me. I have a type, guys. The type that likes to play with corpses. I'm level 92. Should I activate the exploit gift, taking away all the nodes, or keep nodes work hitting on exploit? I mean, if you're 92, like that you should like in the beginning try to get most in the Bone Graft board. You know, Bone Graft, Flesh Eater, Scent of Death. This is what you mostly should focus on to just get like all the legendary nodes there, because they are very useful legendary nodes. Chad, did I not take the... I think I might have made a doo-doo. Might have made a doo-doo. Let's see if I did actually make a doo-doo. Miss, you watched the Banisher review and cried. Yep, me too. Those Banisher endings were quite something that was hard, but very good game. I wish I could spend more time with it, but the realities of a creator. Gotta moving on. Gotta keep creating content. So I might have missed to take the Bone Graft legendary node. Oh, Red Death, you get this sorcerer to level 100 with the Blizzard build. That's a very good choice. No, I did take it. Oh god, I'm not crazy. Good. Yikes. I would have been sad if I screwed that one up. Seriously. The most basic thing. Well, that's Blight's Defiled Area. I just recently disenchanted a Blight's Defiled Area, so I need that. Pans. So if we're boss fighting now, Chad. You did 120 Duriels, no Uber, so the Uber update is bad. No, it's not. You're just unlucky. Also, Duriel does not have an Uber drop rate buff, so you might have missed that, but the Uber drop rate buff was for the open world, which just makes it more likely now in the open world to drop, but still unlikely to drop if you're playing a normal amount of gameplay. So these pants are useless for the boss fight. That means I can just take T-Bolt's Will. And T-Bolt's Will is good for 2 reasons. So it's 40% bonus damage, right? But it's also maximum resource plus. So more resource, right? More damage as well. So I could take these 2 items right now if I really wanted to go for a boss fight. And let's see. We have another Shift of Ruins. Yeah, we have another Shift of Ruins. Let's do that one. So we're actually going to go back pants. And then we'll do a Shift of Ruins and just like see if the damage does feel even higher, right? Lecoy, lice, Lecoy, I don't know. L, hi. Thank you for the brand new subscription and greetings. Repair? Why would I repair? Nothing is broken. What did I miss? Your deck had 2 versus 5 derails. Yep. Welcome to variety, statistics, and the way how it is. I mean, that's the problem with these drop chances. As always, the problem with the drop chances is that there's no pity timer. So some people will get the Ubers very lucky, and some people will be very unlucky. The problem is that the lucky people would have kept playing the game anyways, and the unlucky people will stop playing the game. So this is like, why do we need pity mechanics, guys? Why do we need a pity timer that after 50 Duriels, you're guaranteed an Uber unique? In my eyes. Because the people that would anyways play, keep playing. Because they would anyways play, right? They don't mind doing XXX Duriels. But how often have I had a YouTube comment now where someone said, I tried to grind Duriel, I was very unlucky and didn't get anything. Understandable. Why ever they were grinding Duriel, don't get me wrong, you don't need Uber Uniques, but that's beyond the point. So they were grinding Duriel, then they were also grinding Melphis. They didn't get any of the Uniques, Uber Uniques, stones, anything, like literally nothing. And that frustrated them to no end. And that's why they stopped playing for the season. And these stories are quite often. Oh, there's a Duriel, there's a Butcher in here. So these stories are happening surprisingly often, you know? I mean, obviously, it's people doing this a little bit to themselves because there is, again, no reason to actually ever want Uber Uniques. But that's beyond the point because, like, if your friend now after 5 Duriels gets all the Uber Uniques he ever wanted and you are after 200 not getting any. A stinker, right? The buffed Uber Unique drop rate says now that every 8,000th helmet, for example, you will drop an Uber Unique. Technically, because that's also not a guarantee. That's more like after 8,000 helmets, for example, or 8,000 chest pieces, you might drop an Uber Unique. Now that's how likely the drop chances are. Before it was after like 9 million or so, or every 9 million drop could be one. Uber Unique should be uber rare. Well, technically Uber Unique should be uber rare, but you can just farm Duriel like an idiot and get them, so they're not uber rare anymore. The materials are not uber rare. So the argument that Uber Unique should be uber rare is not, because they stopped being uber rare when you could just farm them. Now, yes, again, like you should make them rare. I just told you what the problem is. You're essentially due to a flawed Duriel grind, you're killing your player base. You're essentially you're stealing the joy of people wanting to keep playing the game with the way how the Uber Unique system right now is. And that's the simple thing. That's just an observation, okay? This is not a judgment, this is not a valuation. It's just an observation of what has happened, the feedback I'm getting from players, right? The feedback I'm getting from the community. It won't change most likely. I don't see it changing in any way. But I can see how it's frustrating. I mean, I as the Necro, I don't attempt uber uniques in any way anyways because I don't need them. But I think it can be very frustrating if you're out to get them. The concept of crafting ubers seems wrong to you. Well, maybe in Diablo 2. But this is Diablo 4. And it's a very casual, easy game. Crafting uber uniques fits really well into Diablo 4. Right? I mean, if you compare it to the have been there before Diablos. Yeah, weird. But if you view it as just Diablo 4, it's Diablo 4. Okay, so now, chat, we're taking T-Bolt's Will, and we're taking the offhand, okay? And that's technically the most damage possible that I could deal. We're still going to be activating our Bone Storm. We're going to curse him. We're going to do here the thingy. We're going to activate the Bone Storm. Then we get the bonus damage, right? And then we're just eating that out. And look how much damage we're essentially dealing there, right? Then we go Blood Mist again to get the 40% bonus damage, right? And boom, again, just nuked away. So this is how you can actually make boss fights even better. Right? That's like these two items, they make boss fights even faster than they actually are. Crazy, right? There's some nasty tempo. Or we could try to get Duriel now to see if we can vaporize Duriel even faster. The build can be seen at the start of the stream. Okay. We don't have a build guide yet for you. I am very sorry. I'm only one man. I am only one man. With one man amount of time. And this very night, I have been at a birthday party. At a thirsty 30 birthday party. And I arrived home late and I couldn't make a YouTube video this morning. I must apologize for my shortcomings as a human being. Please don't hate me. I had a life. I was watching one of your videos and noticed you're streaming Monty. And that's why YouTube is king. Discoverability. Now let's get the Duriel mats. So we can get another Duriel clip of me killing him even faster. Faster, faster, faster. The fun part about this build is that everything is reasonably achievable. What do I mean with reasonably achievable? I mean, seriously, this is not impossible to get. I swear on me, mom, chat. There's literally YouTubers out there who recommend every build to have 4 uber uniques. And then people are like, wow, this is the best build in the world. Then I'm making a build that essentially just needs you to get the Black River. And the Littlest Wall is even optional, right? And people are like, yeah, like, can you make a build that actually is achievable for the normal person? Sir, this is absolutely achievable for the normal person. I mean, this is just a Black River. Like, it's not hard. Right? It's really not impossible. I think a lot of people still don't know that you can actually target farm uniques, chat. Because I always notice that some people are just asking like these weird questioning comments, and you're just kind of like, sir, this is basic knowledge. I think it's time for another basic knowledge video, chat. Like the amount of people that actually don't know that glyphs get a higher radius with level 15 is still high. John, I mean, like that level 15 glyphs, yes, they give you a bigger radius, and you can then activate the glyph better. And a lot of people don't know this, and it's okay. What aspect are we dropping for Black River? We're not playing Serration. So you're sacrificing ceiling damage of Bone Spear. Okay. Let's say instead of doing like a 3 million Bone Spear, you only do a 2 million Bone Spear. Okay. But you're adding a Corpse Explosion that can deal up to 10, 15 million damage. So you're essentially getting rid of like a bit of potential damage for vast quantities of damage. And that's where this actually works very well, because that is no sacrifice, right? I mean, putting out the Serration aspect, and again, the Serration aspect is good. Don't get me wrong. It's very nice here. Ossified Key passive gives you more damage, right? But getting Black River and potentially, like, again, the Corpse Explosions here, they work with Critical Strike. So this is like the most important lesson to learn. That the Corpse Explosions, they work with Critical Strike. These Corpse Explosions, right? And that makes such a difference in everything. Because usually Corpse Explosion doesn't work with Critical Strike, but now we're boosting Critical Strike to the max. We're having these beautiful Corpse Explosions that deal gazillions of damage. Doesn't the Grandfather do more damage? Well, here comes the interesting part. Sure, the Grandfather does more damage for Bone Spear. Now, why is Black River so interesting? Because Black River makes you hit a whole room. Okay? So Black River makes you hit a whole room with one Corpse Explosion. You could play the Grandfather, then your Corpse Explosion, instead of hitting a whole room, only hits like 5 mobs or so. Unless you have them all pulled together, which you can do as well. Still though, it's just a matter of like losing out on that. As well, you're going to be losing ranks and Scorp skills, Fueled by Death, and the Shoot Flesh. Grandfather is great. And honestly, for bossing, it's probably still better. You know? So you have to understand that for bossing, yes, Grandfather is probably better. Because raw, maximum critical strikes. For dungeon pushing, though, where you have to kill copious amounts of mobs and be survivable at the same time, Black River is better. Leaps and bounds. Right? So Black River is truly a nice unique. I mean, mostly it wasn't really overlooked. It's just that it's a scythe. So the problem with Black River is it's actually a scythe, right? And Necro often wants Lucky Hit Chance as an intrinsic stat. Because Lucky Hit Chance on Necro makes the world go around. And you're losing on 15% Lucky Hit Chance when you use Black River. Also, Black River doesn't have like any critical strike damage. Black River doesn't have any in that direction, which is kind of bummer, like, because you want you want critical strike damage in all these things and overpower damage. Still works plenty well. Your brain can't comprehend all the bright lights and text on stream, dude. Like, this is why like there is ARPG fatigue. So we call it ARPG fatigue. That's when you're playing ARPGs and like you get tired because you're playing ARPGs. That's the problem I have with Path of Exile, for example. Path of Exile is a very visually extreme game. And Diablo, due to, like, I don't know how to put this. Diablo is a bit more less fleshy. Is less fleshy. Thank you very much. Diablo is less fleshy than other ARPGs. Still fleshy, but less fleshy. And that's why I'm not getting tired playing this game. When I play Path of Exile, I'm always tired afterwards. My brain is tired. My eyes are tired. Like literally everything is tired. I'm like, yeah. But it's just Path of Exile that does that to me. I don't know how Last Epoch will be. I don't know what design concept they're following. I mean, for example, Diablo 2 was also not tiring to play or to look at because it was very minimal in terms of what it does. Have you tried Xfeld's CE variant of this build? The problem with the Shadow Corpse Explosion Black River is that you are, again, not getting the... You're not getting the radius from Black River, but not only are you not getting the radius, like, it's bad to use Black River on Lucky Hit. Why is it bad to use Black River on Lucky Hit? Okay. Because Black River consumes 5 corpses with 1 cast. But when you try to Lucky Hit with Xfeld, you're trying to make as many corpse explosions as possible to have as many sources of Lucky Hit as possible. And now if you're actually then going for Black River, who like essentially uses up all the corpses in one area, bibbity bobbity wobbity woo, right? How are you then going to make as much Lucky Hit as you can? That's where Black River and Xfeld just doesn't make sense. I hope that explanation makes sense for you. Just sometimes just doesn't add up as much as you wanted to. When are you dropping the build guide for the one you're running now? Tomorrow? You know, I'll play this a bit more today. I want to do that next Duriel. And I would really like to do Malphus today, but I don't have the course, so no Malphus for me. I want to play some Last Epoch, and then tomorrow morning when I wake up very early, I'll make the guide, and then we'll all be like, and then you can yell at me for this not being the best Necro in the game, or it being the best Necro in the game. Yeah, everything that is Lucky Hit related. So this is also one conundrum with the exposed flesh. We're right now using exposed flesh to create essence, but on the one hand, it's bad because we're consuming like 5 corpses at the same time, correct? So if we're trying to get the Lucky Hit with the exposed flesh maximum, then again, corpse or bone spear itself has a very high Lucky Hit chance, and here we're talking about like 69%, was pretty damn good. So helpful. I now would have Lucky Hit Barrier also on my amulet. That would be nice, but yeah, usually the bone spear itself is already enough to just Lucky Hit us up, upwards and beyond. We can kill Grégoire the Galvanic Saint. We can kill Durieux. We're still waiting for the leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, I do believe this build is it, Chan. Because this build, you notice how fast I'm killing bosses. So I'm killing bosses the fastest. I'm killing masses of minions the fastest. I can just simply not think about a Necromancer build that will do anything better, Chan. Okay. There's just what other build can do this? What other build can kill bosses this fast? None of the Necro builds, especially tier 100 bosses. There's just Bone Spear is the only thing that can really take this good care of them, and that paired together with the package that then the Corpse Explosion has to offer, it's just perfection. You can have my course, no Saturn. I'm not taking this. Mr. Voodie Joe made actually a very good video about this called Streamer Privilege, where he's talking about like that streamers are to a degree also creating an unrealistic vision of the game, because there's certain creators who have every single Uber unique every season, but they're also essentially taking 1,000 Duriel runs from their community, right? No one can have that. And I'm personally in the camp of, if I want to do Duriel, I farm my mats, then I invite the community, and then we do some rotations. But I would never be like, who in chat has Igneous Course? And then I'll gather like 3 people that have igneous cores, and then we just burn through them. If I don't have my own igneous cores to contribute, that's just literally, it's just shitty. That's also an unrealistic like picture of the game, because that's not how the game works. That's not how it's ever going to go for anyone. So I might have the chance to use my streamer privilege for evil or good, or how you see it, but I just don't want to, simply because I think that's not the right way. I know a lot of creators see this a different way, and you could also put a different twist to this. Obviously, there are viewers that are extremely happy to help you, right? There are viewers who are glad to donate their materials. There's viewers who really like, they're happy that they can play with you. They're happy they can contribute. They're happy they can like pay something back, right? For the entertainment that's offered to them. And that is another side of the coin, because sure, that's understood and that's accepted. But it doesn't take this thing away that you're essentially fleecing your community for materials still. I removed exposed flesh for serration and put out Grim Harvest with essence reduction. You can do that. Grim Harvest with essence reduction, serration, and everything works well. My thought is just versus bosses without exposed flesh, you will at some point get into essence issues. I mean, for dungeons or for actual dungeon pushing, you do not need exposed flesh. That is absolutely true. Like, if you're just going through a tier 100 dungeon, exposed flesh is useless. Do you think Blizzard's going to nerf the amount of mats to craft Ubers? No. 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 I don't think so. I mean, right now, the whole Uber crafting thingy seems to be more something for Eternal Realm than something for Seasonal Realm. That being said, I do believe that the Uber crafting kind of shows what we might get in the future for crafting systems, because again, Season 4 is going to have a huge item rework. So maybe we're getting crafting. Who knows? Also, Plopper, good to see you there. Mr. Plopper, pleasure. Maybe, ladies and gentlemen, we'll finally see crafting. Who knows? My level 50 Bone Necro does 5k damage tops, while my 40 level Barber friend does 60k. Yeah, but that's Barbarian. That's like complaining that your friend who's driving a very fast and overtuned car is driving faster than you in your not so fast car. And you're like, this is not cool. Why is my car not as fast as his car? You're like, sir, you're driving, you're like, you know, you're driving a Toyota Corolla. And he's driving like, you know, a spaceship, the Millennium Falcon. Like, I mean, surprise, you're slower. Who would have guessed? I'm new to Diablo series and looking to get help with build guides. What's the best site to look at? Mobalytics or just my YouTube channel, which is full of builds?
I need time to do that.
I mean, Barbarian is just overtuned right now. Simple. And the general manager of Diablo is playing Barbarian, Chan. So take these two pieces of information. Barbarian is overtuned, and the general manager of Diablo is also playing Barbarian. In the Eternal season, the very first non-season of Diablo, he used to play Necro. He's not playing that anymore. Who knows why, Chad? Who knows why? Make out of this pieces of information whatever you like. Okay, so we are fighting a boss. So again, we're putting on T-Bald's Will, and we're putting on our cool offhand because we want maximum damage. How many times left this season? We're not even a month in. Sir, how many time is left? We're not even a month in. Okay, again, we're going Blood Mist to get the automatic corpse generals. First explosion, Bone Spear him, Bone Storm on, and dead. You see how fast that went? Chad, did you see how fast that went? Ladies and gentlemen, did you see how fast that went? April 16th, the season ends. Yes. And that means that we're getting the season afterwards, technically in July, right? So we get season 4 from April to July, and I'm going on vacation at the end of June. And I hope I'm not getting fucked over. I literally had to plan my vacation this year in between the Diablo season, so I'm not getting screwed. Does Essence Problem on Necro only go away with items, or my skill tree is wrong? No items. I mean, like, you definitely want to have the Grim Harvest maxed out. That helps a lot. But Circle of Exposed Flesh helps. You have Exposed Flesh also here in the resource. You can take Aspect of the Umbral as well. Aspect of the Umbral is really nice. And your robot can have resource support, which also helps. So we still have plenty of time left with this season. So how are we doing that much more damage now, chat? It's actually simple because of the T-Bald's Will.
I need time to do that.
That we're adding for the boss fight. And this is also, again, why we're kind of like having to go through the motions, right? We have to curse for the damage multiplier. Step 1. Then we also have to go into the... We go into the Blood Mist to make a corpse for corpse tendrils, right? Curse, crit chance, and then boop, 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 dead. And this is, and I'll say this, guys, this is without uber uniques, right? So this is the weakest form of the build, technically. So there's still the Ring of Starless Skies, which would higher my existing damage by 40%. Then on top of the Ring of Starless Skies, which is missing, we could also get the Harlequin Crest, technically, but the Harlequin Crest is not necessarily better than Deathless Visage, because Deathless Visage is extremely good. There is the Evernight Tuning Stone. We have Evernight Genesis. We have the Genesis Tuning Stone, which would give us another 30% multiplicative. So we're technically missing out on 70% multiplicative death. 70%, chat. 70%.
I cannot do that here.
Madon, good to see you there, brother. Happy enjoying this channel. Thank you for the compliment. We're going to find this build. We built this at the start of the stream, so you can rewind the stream to see the building process. But there's also a build guide coming tomorrow. What happens on this channel, if you're new to this, hi, YouTube and Twitch, we always make these builds live with a chat together, because I have a plan, and then we flesh out the builds. And then 1 or 2 days later, we'll also create the build guide video for YouTube, where I then break everything down to you with detailed explanations on all the kind of things, and where I try to still min-max the Paragon board. I think the Paragon board is actually perfect, I'll humbly say, this time. Because we tried out something really new. We tried out 2 new things. So we tried out the bonus attack speed, but we also tried out maxing our resistance. Maxing our resistance, Chad, without using the sacrifice for more minions, because what we wanted to have is maximum critical strike chance, and that worked out. Yeah, let's see how fast Duriel can die now. Was Blood Mist 4, making corpses, and in case you're in danger, you can Blood Mist. My Blood Mist, so like, you might not know this because you haven't played Necro much, but you know, every single class has like cool escape abilities, and they have movement speed abilities and all that kind of stuff. Most classes, not Necro though. Okay, so all classes have that, but Necro, we don't have anything like that. We don't have like cool movement speed abilities or anything. Also, in this case, it's also there to activate, what's it called again? My T-Bald's Will, because if I go into the Blood Mist, and then I come out of the Blood Mist, I get 50% bonus multiplier in damage, and you notice how well this is going. Let's do Rio. Completely pooped on. And again, weakest version of the build. Chad, weakest version of the build. Can make it even stronger with items. And from my aspect perspective, I actually can enchant way better aspects right now. I just noticed, like, from the aspect perspective, I can't get more damage. Hold on, wait a second. I can get vast quantities of damage more quickly. Hold my beer. But I have just seen that I'm actually running a very low-rolled version of something. Is Decomposer good for corpses? No, Decompose is weird. Is Littlest Wall super rare? Done 10 plus years, still no luck? You might have to do 20 or even 30. Yeah. Might have to do 20 or even 30 years to really guarantee that dropping. I know this is not what you want to hear, and I'm sorry that I can't give you better news, but that's just what it is. There's one unique I need to refarm, Chan. You want to know what unique that is? Do you want to know what unique that is? It's called Razor Blade. What, Pony? Why would you want to have Razor Blade? Listen, Chan. Many reasons. But the main reason being that I can make this into an AFK build, a complete AFK build. Would you put Bloodlines as number 2 and Bone Spear as number 1? We just recently released a tier list, if you missed that. Definitely Bone Spear is number 1. Bloodlands and the Blight Corpse Explosion build is right behind that. Blood Surge is under Bloodlands this season because it just doesn't perform up to the standards. But yeah, the main cool thing is you can play this build completely AFK, right? When you actually pick up the Razor Blade again. I would need the Razor Blade for this because then the overworld shit takes so much damage that I can just truly AFK. My problem with farming Igneous Cores right now is that I don't think I even have the Elemental Cores to farm Igneous Cores. Yeah, I don't actually think I have the Elemental Cores to farm that. 20 times 9 blood of Zir. Yeah, like Zir is bullshit. The resource to farm Zir is too rare and it makes no sense. And I still have to farm Varshan a lot of times because I'm still not having the perfect ring. So right now, see, I'm just AFK. Fan. So I could essentially just stand around here AFK. While everything will just die. Could someone please summon this again? I don't have the materials. So I do not have the cores, nor do I have nothing. I'm sorry. Could someone please resummon this? Oh, you inconsiderate bastards. You inconsiderate bastards! I would fund a couple of Malphus runs in exchange for Dura runs. I don't have Dura runs as well, Shawington. Any chance of posting this build on Mobalytics? Yes, this build will be posted on Mobalytics tomorrow, not today.
It is done.
You get the Meteor Sork helmet in a vault and not at the Beast of Ice. Hey, I got my Black River, my current perfect Black River 925 roll with everything. I get that also in a vault. But I'm more prone to actually find good items in vaults. Wait, essence cost reduction, tides of blood, damage reduction. Oh my god, Chad, it happened. Chad, listen. We finally found it. The amulet to rule them all. Chosen. I mean, seriously, I've been looking for this amulet for such a long while. Especially for the blood build. We need tides of blood. Oh, there's a world boss coming? Yes. World boss would be good. I guess I can do another Malphus to get the favors right now. So there's no build guide yet for this. The build guide is coming tomorrow. This is essentially the presentation of the build. So you see what the build is possible to do. And this is also kind of like the last build I can make this season. I mean, we've had the Bloodwave build, and this one were kind of like the last two. At this point, any other build I make is mainly for clicks and not for this truly something good. No, I mean, like, so we've had the best builds. We had some quirky builds. We have essentially experimented with Bone Spirit. I could make an updated tier 100 Bone Spirit build right now, but I don't think it would be much difference to what I actually have made. So we could make a Bone Spirit build where we try to get the most out of Bone Spirit, which could also play Black River funnily. But again, that would be useless because if you play Black River with Bone Spirit, it doesn't really make much sense since Bone Spirit is already your nuke ability, and then you would play Black River. Technically, you could play Bone Spirit together with Shadow Stuff. Have the Shadow Stuff boost the Bone Spirit damage. Because then you would be like using Shadow Corpse explosions and things, but... You get your Lilitless today. That's amazing. I mean, Lilitless is the one non-negotiable item on Necro. The thing is, it's not like that you can't play Necro without the Lilitless wall. It's just how much easier it is with. So without the Lilitless wall, you can 100% play the Necro. There's like no hurt feelings. There's no problems. The thing is just that with the Lilitless wall, you're gaining so much bonus survival. You're gaining so much bonus everything, right? I mean, right now with a Lilitless wall, I'm making automatic bone storms and exploding things. Then with my Ring of Sacrilegious Souls, I can essentially stay AFK here while bonus bone storms are being made on killing enemies. And I'm essentially getting barrier while bonus bone storms are being made. So I can just position myself in the middle of this, then go AFK and not even like care a goddamn thing anymore about anything. You're doing so much better with Torment versus Exposed Flesh. I think Torment is really good as well, especially because it just works, you know? What I like about Exposed Flesh is when you have a lot of Essence, how much Essence this reproduces straight away. Because you essentially blast out like 3 Bone Spears, right? And then 1 single Exposed Flesh hits and you go there. The problem with Exposed Flesh is that you'll need to stack Lucky Hit Chance, correct? Whereas with the aspect of Torment, as you're saying, and what is the aspect of Torment, guys? The aspect of Torment says that on critical strike, you're just hiring your essence regeneration by 170, 190%. So just by a vast quantity, you're hiring your essence generation. Which essentially allows you to just like, I don't know, you generate what, 30, 40 essence per second then at some point, like if you have enough of these items. I don't know if Torment is actually, is it here? Exposed Flash, Umbro, here. So critical strikes with bone skills increase your essence generation by up to 170, I think is the max. And then the 170 of max, you know, you are currently, or we are currently having, so my essence regeneration is only 3 essence, right? And this is times 170%. Now, obviously, my essence regeneration is just bad, and I would need to have resource generation on the ring, for example, to boost this even more, and probably resource generation on my offhand. And will make things even more efficient. Is there an X-Files Blight Explosion build? Yes. It's really good build, especially because it pushes your robot to do more damage. Tiago, thank you all for wanting to help. But as I said, if I don't have a set of materials myself, then I cannot good conscience take your materials, chat. So the only way how we can go to this together is by me having the materials. Like, you know, I'm sorry. I've fallen short of your expectations. Don't hate me. I got 9 hearts, 9 hands. I don't have heads. Where are my heads? You're tempted to level another Necro as a Blight C Necro. Well, what do you think what I did? I have my summoner Necro. I always level like one cool Necro, and then I'm leveling my off Necro. And that off Necro is mostly summoner, right? This is what we did with him. We did like some cool summoner playstyle. Right now, I don't. Oh, right now he was doing the penny Necro challenge. Where are my heads? Do I not have head? I should have some heads somewhere. Shit. We're running a new Paragon setup. Yes, I changed some things and I found the node of nodes. A node I have never used before, and I still don't know why. I've never used that node before. Here, there's 19 heads. Well, that's a lot. And we're currently using an attack speed node, but not only an attack speed node. This is really, really, really fun in a high lucky hit chance build. So we have a high lucky hit chance build. Okay, chat? High lucky hit chance build. And we currently have a 30% chance to execute someone. Okay, here, ladies and gentlemen. This is unnecessary, but why would you not have it? I'm asking myself, why not have it? Okay, so we have an up to 20% chance to execute injured non-elites. Normal mobs. Still 25 and 5. So in total, we have a 30% chance to execute non-elites. And our Bone Spear has a lucky hit chance in general of 70%. So that's really reasonable to execute non-elites, right? And on top, it's giving us 5% attack speed plus. 5% attack speed plus doesn't sound like a lot, but getting 5% attack speed for free, without adding anything, I mean, like, yeah, makes kind of not sense to not take, right? Especially for builds or like that are attack speed starved, like Blood Surge and Bone Spear, Blood Surge and Blood Lance. They both would just absolutely greatly profit from this. And it like makes no sense to not take that. What's the best build to run a tier 100 fast, even if it's just running past everything and just killing the last mob? This one. This build. Bone Spear in general. When I disenchant uniques, you get the shards for Ubers. No, when you disenchant Uber uniques, you get the shards for Ubers. There's no unique into Uber unique or Uber unique into normal uniques. So the current crafting system is like literally like a little band-aid fun crafting system that doesn't actually do anything. Okay. Like cool that you exist, but also like, Yikes. Oh, I didn't bring my cool pants to kill Varshan even faster. Now I have to fight him for 2 seconds. Sad face. Sad chat. I made a mistake. Didn't bring my cool materials. Are we fighting him right now? Well, so I still do need a Ring of Sacrilegious Souls in perfect rolled, and I still do need a Deathless Visage in perfect rolled. There's still a reason to kill him. I'm getting a message from Oha. Oha, waifu. You can eat my fat booty. Sorry, chat. The waifu wants something for me. Let's kill Mr. Varshan quickly, and then I have to explain my waifu that her ideas are crazy. Oh, you got so destroyed. He didn't even drop a unique. This is one of my greatest nuisances, right? That we're not getting a unique here. Guaranteed. Which board is that on? The attack speed node is in the Flesh Eater board. And the attack speed works very well on almost everything Necro-wise. Bone Spear doesn't want to do that much attack speed because you're technically holding back a little bit, since you don't want to cast your essence empty, but you can always cast until half essence, so still there's attack speed actually quite a good thing. Right? Realistically, the blood builds profit the most from this. Boop. Stop giving me these boots. Okay, I quickly need to run up to the wife and tell her something. Okay. Hi. Sorry. I booped the microphone chat. Good. So next week, hopefully next week, probably towards end of the week, Chad, we're going to be getting a fireside chat as well that will finally tell us and show us the gauntlet in a full. We get promised that on Twitter by the community manager, and at least that is a reliable source, not the general manager. It's really not a reliable source. We're finally going to get a fireside chat. This is also going to break things down for us. And we'll finally have all the details that we've been looking for. That's my helm. The problem is, in order to get really a good helm, I need a 925 roll with a max roll on everything. I'm still hoping to get that at some point because we need the max essence, the max damage reduction, the max physical damage, the max bone skill damage. There's so many things that I actually need to max roll on this. It's like almost, I think I'll never get it. So, but we'll finally know more about the leaderboard if you're interested or not in that. But I think like a lot of people are right now saying they're not interested in the leaderboard, but I think you can casually grind it for like skins and everything still. I mean, end of the day, isn't that what we want? We want free, cool looking skins, right? That helmet or the Uber Unique? This helmet. But fuck the Uber Unique. I mean, seriously. You have to understand that Shaco is cool, and Shaco gives you, or the Harlequin Crest, gives you a bit more damage multiplier, but this one has maximum essence, more damage. This one has physical damage, way more damage, and this has a crit damage. Plus the actual Bone Spear echo explosions that are getting out of this are also like absolutely escalating into the amazing damage-ness, where they just go crazy. So there's so many reasons to play this one over over Harlequin Crest. And you need to have Harlequin Crest first. That being said, Chad, yes, daily on YouTube, I get the question, Pony, I have every single Uber unique. Could you recommend a build for me? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. It's not my fault that you have every single Uber unique. You will need to cram them in existing builds somehow, and it will be inefficient and shit. Because that's the thing with Uber uniques, guys. They are inefficient and shit. In most cases, they are more clunky than helpful. And they have very limited use case scenarios, apart from Shaco, which is mostly good. But yeah, Uber uniques are not the magical answer to everything. Even though people seem to believe that. Full name is called Barb. That is true. But Barb is already overpowered without these super uniques. The leaderboard will just be Chinese people, probably in the top 10, yes. The top 10 on the leaderboard will probably be 10 Chinese people for every class. Yes. But you don't need to be the top 10. I mean, top 1,000 gives you skins. Top 10,000 gives you skins. Top 100,000 gives you skins. So in order to just get skins and the cool frames around your character, and don't forget, you can earn that weekly over and over again, right? Because the leaderboard resets weekly, Chan. So every week, you can get in there. What the interesting thing is, guys, honestly, if I make number 11 in the leaderboard and in front of me are 11 Chinese people, then I'm the number one of you, right, Chan? I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong, Chad. I'm okay with that, okay? But if I can't beat the 10 Chinese people that are grinding their soul out like there's no tomorrow. What build do you actually use now? This is the Black River Bone Spear Corpse Explosion Bonanza. We call it also the Nuclear Necromancer. The build is currently not online, but what we can do is we can create the mobalytics together right now if you want to, Chan. And then I can give you the mobalytics and post it into the description of the video. And I'll still make the video build guide tomorrow. But I guess we could also just do this right now because we have the time right now, if you would like that. For a kiss, I can do this. No problem. Alternatively, I'll take all your Prime subscription. Thank you very much. And dead again. God, I love this. You think Howl would be worth it, or does it cut off more valuable aspects? Yes, Howl cuts away valuable aspects, but not only valuable aspects, Mike. The problem is that Howl from below has like 16% lucky hit, which is cool. Okay? But look at my gloves. My gloves is 10% critical strike chance, 15% attack speed, nice, and 16% lucky hit chance, cool, and then ranks and bone spear. You would lose the bone splinter aspect, which is insane, but the 4 ranks and bone spear. So right now my bone spear does 153% multiplier. And this is 119% multiplier. Okay, 119 versus 153. That is so much more damage due to the 4 ranks. This is what you would be losing. Yes, you would boost your bone, you would boost your corpse explosion damage. But corpse explosion is not everything you do, right? What gem is in the Black River? Well, currently in the Black River, there is a damage over time gem because I was just using the Black River in my damage over time build. But that one can obviously be changed into the not damage over time gem because it makes no sense that is actually in there. And you would change it into the critical strike versus vulnerable enemies. Metal, would the Uber not be better with +4? Yeah, but it's still not worth it. The +4 multiplier is not worth it compared to what the Deathless Visage does to you. Simple. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, chat. Okay, like this, understand this. If you have the Harlequin crest, the Deathless Visage is 90% the better choice. But you already farmed the Harlequin crest. Just put it in. When you have it, it doesn't matter if it's the most efficient choice. If you have Deathless Visage or Harlequin crest, we're talking about a 10% difference, maybe. Okay? So the Deathless Visage is 10% better. But the Harlequin crest is not bad. Just put it in. You like, right? The Ring of Exposed Flesh is probably better than a Ring of Starless Skies, but the Ring of Starless Skies is fantastic. Just put it in. Melted Heart of Selig, well, Melted Heart of Selig is useless. Grandfather, just put Grandfather in. Like, who cares? Like, you're finding cool Uber uniques that are extremely rare. Why not use them? No matter if they're the best choice to use. Who cares? Just use them. They're fun. They're great. Good. Duriel just dropped Blue Rose for my Blizzard Sork. Would you drop X-Felds or Tal Rasha? I think X-Felds is as good as Blue Rose. So you just literally got to try which one you get more damage with. Simple. Okay, chat was asking to make the build guide, chat. Well, then we can go through the build guide quickly. Pull up Mobalytics for this. This is the... We're using Bone Storm, Bone Spear, Tendrils, Explosions, Mist, and Repify. Then we actually sacrificed for Critical Strike. Yes, we managed, chat. We finally managed. More vulnerable, and this. Nice tic-tac-toe going down. Oh, we're missing the whole equipment tab. There's some cache. Like, by the way, if you wonder, chat, when you open some of my builds and there's items missing, there can be a caching issue on the website where you open up a build and the uniques are not showing. That can happen occasionally. Just like here right now that we're essentially not seeing the gear. Well, let's see if we get the gear back. This season 3. Nuclear Necro. This is, actually we call it the #1 Necro. Black River plus Bone Spear. Okay. It's the #1 Necro everything, chat. We're actually not getting the gear back. Okay. See the gears back now. So what do we need in the skill tree? A skill tree was, we don't need bone splinters, but we need to skill it. We also do have only 1 point in unliving energy, which makes me sad. I want all 3 points, because if you have all 3 points in unliving energy, you would get the maximum amount of bonus damage from your key passive. Grim Harvest is too good to say no to, even though I don't think we need Grim Harvest for this build because we're producing enough essence, but 2 or 6 essence per corpse is a difference. Only 1 point, 3 and 3. 3 and 3, the best skill in the game. Done. Okay. Give that. Now let's go. We need this. So first Paragon board is mainly there to give you intelligence. Nothing else. Just intelligence. Okay? Maximum brain points. For the exclamation glyph. And before you ask, Chad, yes, you want every glyph level 21. I see this question more often than I want to admit, but people are like, do I really need to get every glyph 21? And the answer is yes. I mean, if you already activated a glyph, right? Chad, if you already activated a glyph, getting things to 21 is essentially free damage. Very important lesson to learn. Because you have already activated it, right? You have already invested the points. And from that point on, it's just free more damage that you have to make 0 investments for because you already have it activated. You already have the points put in. That's what makes it so beautiful. You're gonna see this build. Well, we're creating this build right now. That's where you can see this build. Here. No. We're making this build right now. So on the side here in my mobilytics, I'm currently putting every single point in the Paragon board so that we can post the build for you. It'll be a max roll on YouTube. My builds are all on mobilytics. I do not put anything on max roll. Thank you very much. Mobilytics. And it will also end on YouTube. Yes. There will be a build guide tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow, where I walk you through all the stages with explanations, because I always believe that a build guide is nice and dandy Andy, and you should definitely like have one in written form. But the reality is that the video form can explain nuances of builds that the written form just can't cover. Like little things on how to play, little things on how to optimally use your build that often are not being properly covered by the written version. Okay. This one also gets activated. End of death board. And yes, we had not taken the armor anymore instead of death. It's actually a relief to have Juggernaut, because with the Juggernaut glyph, I freed up so much space in the Paragon board, since I usually tend to try to maximize my armor through the Paragon. But Juggernaut is just so horrific stupid that you essentially just have everything maxed out of the house. So I don't know. Have it done. And then last but not least, into the Bloodbath board. Bloodbath board is one of these boards that are so easy to take because you're essentially just having to get the glyph activated. And getting the glyph activated here is just stupid. There's also territorial for the bonus damage reduction from close enemies, if you are actually walking into close enemy. Okay, save. Well, that should be everything. The Paragon board. Oh, now gear. Deathless Visage. Chest piece is Jugger. Chest piece also needs physical damage. Damage reduction well fortified. Maximum life. And damage reduction engine. Gloves technically want critical. That is splintering. And then you want on gloves, you want lucky hit chance. You want bone spear. You want crit chance. And then last but not least, I mean, we went with attack speed. And it just doesn't hurt. But these gloves are impossible to find, by the way. I do not know how we found these gloves, if I'm honest with you. So this is maximum life. And it's corpse explosion. Damage rent while fortified. And damage ran in general. Boots are Ghostwalker. And they are essence cost reduction, intelligence, all stats. What oh, and movement speed. Movement speed. And they have resource generation, by the way. No. Then weapon is Black River. Gem is emerald. Armor is ruby. Jewelry is diamond. Offhand is litless. Ring is sacrilegious. Other ring is lucky hit chance. Crit chance. Max essence, actually. And I mean, technically it should be critical. It should either be resource generation or critical strike damage. So both of those is viable. Oh, and then the aspect is exposed flesh. And the amulet would be corpse skills. Then it would be Evolution. Followed up by essence cost reduction, I guess. And what else would be good, Chan? Probably physical damage. Well, we can actually do physical damage. Movement speed. Probably movement speed. Honestly, if you would have movement speed, just still zoom faster. And that is Grasping Veins. We get Flash of Adrenaline. We get Tempest. Today's Danish Carnival for kids. Yeah, our carnival is already over. So have fun with your carnival over there. Also, Danish Carnival for kids sounds like it doesn't actually exist. An excuse to dress up and have fun. A good excuse. It's a good excuse. What's the difference between Essence Gen and Resource Gen? Well, I say Essence Gen because I'm a Necro, but Resource Gen is the overarching principle. So there is no Essence Gen. There is only Resource Generation, but I call it Essence Generation because, well, I'm a Necro. Only problem is we're so slow. Why are we so slow? I don't understand why we're slow. There's no double cooldown. What? What am I missing? Why are we slow? I mean, the Bone Storm is permanently up anyways. Prefer Juggernaut over Disobedience? Well, so Juggernaut is all like depends on the build. But with this build, I'm essentially walking into the dungeon and I have maximum armor. I mean, right now, so I open this one, correct? I go into the dungeon and I don't have to kill a single opponent. I don't have to throw a single bone spear, and I am armored out. Right? I don't have to do anything. I'm just at 16,000 armor. I'm just done. I've even too much armor. That's the interesting part. If you have Juggernaut, you only need 1 total armor percentage roll on your gear. More is not necessary. So right now I don't have to throw a single spear. I don't have to do anything, and I'm armored out. And that helps tremendously with like not having to worry about things. So I don't want to worry about things. I just want to keep zooming. You have a minion Bone Spear build? No, because I don't play minions with Bone Spear together. Minions need to be played with Shadow. If you play minions with Bone Spear, you might as well just shoot yourself in the face because that's the most efficient thing you could do. My minions with Bone Spear makes not any sense in many ways, and that is because the Ring of Mendel damage gets mainly scaled by Shadow damage. Or Shadow Blight Key passive. And deal more damage. So yeah, and or was I stuck? Bone Spear, Bone Storm. Yeah. So no. Oh, Bone Spear minions. Juggernaut's much easier in Disobedience is slightly better. The thing is, it's just so much more armor. So Disobedience scales of your existing armor. So if you don't have any existing armor, Disobedience cannot scale from that, right? So you need to have good armor values. I mean, right now, my Juggernaut provides me plus 5,000 armor. And that's not even the high roll, right? Plus 5,000 armor is the low roll here. This can go up to 5,500 armor. And then I just need to fill the last of the gaps, right? And with 5,500 armor, I just need another like x66 armor plus the total armor percentage rolled, and I'm Gucci. Do not have a video with the Uber amulet. We have a video with the Uber amulet, but for the build with Black River, that wouldn't work. And the reason why the Uber amulet wouldn't work with Black River is because the Uber amulet would now take another aspect slot. And if that aspect slot is taken away, then I would have to compensate for that taken aspect slot by taking another aspect out. And if I take the aspect out, I'm going to lose damage. So yes, the Uber amulet is good, but you might notice that we actually don't need it, and it's unnecessary in this case. Especially because we have Grasping Veins on the amulet. Now, if I would play the Uber amulet, I could essentially put an offhand with Grasping Veins on, so we could sacrifice the amulet that we have right now. We could put something on with like an offhand, and then we would not play the Limitless Wall. That would be shit. But not only that, so if you're not actually playing if you would now be playing the Uber amulet, then you would also lose ranks and corpse skills, because right now we're playing the mixed build, right, where our amulet is having ranks and corpse skills, and 4 ranks and corpse skills in comparison to the amulet is also a huge amount of damage boost to our corpse explosion, which allows it to do like 10 million plus damage. Yeah, so Uber amulet in this build, not worth it. How's the boss damage? My friend is going Bone Spear and he's still complaining about low boss damage. Well, if your friend is complaining about low boss damage, he's not playing it right. That's sorry. I don't mean to be mean to your friend. I don't mean to hurt his feelings, but everyone that struggles on bosses with Bone Spears is just literally playing the build wrong. Probably didn't understand how you need to not blast away all your essence as a Bone Spear build, and you're essentially struggling because your skill issue. Also, you probably watched too many Barbarian videos or played too many hours of Barbarian, and that's why you feel like your boss damage is lacking. When in comparison to Barbarian, our boss damage will always lack. We can never get to these levels. It's just never gonna happen. We're Necromancer. No, we're the most balanced class that does the most reasonable damage of all the classes. Right? We're not overtuned. We're just cool. We just do what we do. We just exist, and we don't hurt anyone's feelings by existing. That's not true. We hurt the feelings of every Necromancer because minions, chat. Minions. Okay, so what do we have? That. Okay, it's Bone Spear, automatic corpse explosions, tendrils for millions. Tendrils for millions. Don't cast spear below 90 essence. Will always make sure to cast with around maximum with almost maximum essence for maximum damage. First for bonus CD plus. Good. Shield and pans get swapped for T-bolts. Will and focus plus Serration aspect versus bosses. So that would be the absolute #1 Necromancer this season. There you go. Everything is in. That is the build. I can post it on YouTube. I can put it in the YouTube I can post it on Twitch. I can put it in the YouTube video description, chat. So here it is in the YouTube video description now. And Twitch is going to get it too for the people that would like to try this. World boss in 7 minutes. Oh, let's go world boss. Before we go to world boss, so generally, guys, the boss damage is incredible on this. Thoughts on Flicker Step? Not needed. We played Juggernaut, so Flicker Step is generally shitty because we essentially don't have the triple dashes to really, like, you know, You know, like our dashes just increase, and that's kind of shitty. So generally, just to give you a feeling for damage output for the people that just joined, the boss damage is incredible. So we killed a tier 100 boss in 10 seconds or something like that. And that's really fast for Necro. Really fast for Necro, especially with not using anything else. Like any Uber uniques. But generally what you're doing in damage is, I mean, first and foremost, your infinite essence, right? Like when we're actually fighting these here and we're throwing this, we're infinite essence. But you're essentially like doing very high damage. Plus your corpse explosions can do everything up to 10 million. That was just like the problem is just seeing this, right? So there was 5-6 million corpse explosion. There was yeah, I'm trying to see the numbers in between. Mason, what do the numbers mean? 5 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. They have, like, you know, like 10 million corpse explosion. No, they just happen. Just go crazy. And that on top of all the multi-thousands, 100,000s, millions of damage that your standard bone spear also deals. Looks like your build on Blight Corpse Explosion kills bosses faster than your build doing now. Nope, digital. The Blight Corpse Explosion build killed some of the Uber bosses faster, yes, but not tier 100 bosses. I mean, I played both builds, I tried both builds, but it's like, it's not. This build is better. Well, this is here. This is simply the #1 build this season, and nothing is as good as. That does not mean that the other builds are worse, Axel. Like, for example, I prefer the Blight CE build over this because it's just more fun to play. So the Blight Corpse Explosion build with Army of the Dead is more fun to play. It's just a more novel, cool concept. It is slightly weaker in forms of raw damage, but like it does actually do higher corpse explosions. So this, for example, is a mixed build with corpse explosion and bone spear, and my corpse explosion only do 10 million damage. Whereas the full CE build does up to 25 million damage with a corpse explosion. Now, I mean, choose your poison, what you prefer. Like, do you want to have only measly 10 million damage, or do you want to have 25 million damage? Yeah. Okay, now let's kill that poor Whelp boss. Will Melted Heart be a damage upgrade? Okay, so again, for the people that just missed the talk, why Melted Heart is shit for this. If I put Melted Heart of Selig on, then I would either have to sacrifice Exposed Flesh or Splintering Aspect. Both are non-negotiable to play Melted Heart of Selig. Alternatively, I could put the Littlest Wall off, then I don't get permanent Bone Storms, or the Melted Heart of Selig to put Grasping Veins on the shield. So the Melted Heart of Selig would only be able to be played for boss clearing. Okay, but you would also lose your ranks to all corpse skills, and you would lose your ranks to the Evulsion passive. So you would lose another 28% multiplicative damage on your corpse explosion, and you would lose on top of that another 15% multiplicative damage on the vulnerable, and that only to get 60 more essence, and that 60 more essence would give you a bit more damage on your bone skills, but it wouldn't do actually giving you more damage on your corpse explosion. So no, it's not worth it. The only Uber you have, I mean, you can play the actual Bone Spear Melted Heart of Selig build, because for the Bone Spear Melted Heart of Selig build, it's worth it. If you had +3 corpse skills, +3 evasion, or +3 emblem amulet, which one would you keep? Corpse skills for this build. Corpse skills. But I would never take an amulet like this. I would always take an amulet that has both. I mean, right now I have Amplify over Evulsion. Amplify is also okay because Evulsion... So this is interesting. For this build, Amplify might be better. Because Avulsion gives your bone skills more critical strike damage to vulnerable enemies, whereas Amplify amplifies our whole damage, right? So technically Amplify is better because Amplify amplifies also Corpse Explosion. Whereas Avulsion actually only amplifies bone skills. Huh, interesting. By the way, chat, I don't want to freak you out, and I want to do a huge shout out for everyone in the internet right now. But we're currently having like somewhat like 500 plus viewers on Twitch, but we're also having like 300 plus viewers on YouTube. That's insane. And then there's also the TikTok. So hi TikTok, love to see you there. But yeah, we're recently with this season of Diablo 4, which is the worst season on Diablo 4. We've been having our absolute high score YouTube viewerships. I mean, every single YouTube stream has been over 200 viewers. And like you might not know this, chat, but I used to be a full-time streamer. I still am. But if my YouTube channel would actually not be running successfully, I would straight up have to stop content creation. I mean, in the past 2 years, and especially now with the Diablo 4 release, I've transitioned my YouTube channel to be way more successful than it has ever been. And the reality is, if my YouTube channel would not have the success it has right now, after 10 years of being mainly living from live streaming, I would have to stop content creation. That's crazy, right? That's not a complaint about why are you not subscribing on YouTube, chat? On Twitch, I mean. Seriously, why? That's more like, it's an interesting view to never put all your eggs into one basket, right? Because I might have been live streaming now for 11 years, and I've been living like mainly off live streaming, right? That has been my income, live streaming. But it's just like, yeah. In the recent year, it's now that I'm living actually mainly off YouTube, and that like the live streaming is still there. Don't get me wrong, but if YouTube wasn't this successful, I mean, I need essentially both to survive, right? Live streaming and YouTube. But if YouTube wouldn't be popping as much as it does, then I could like forget this at this point. It's crazy, right? Who is doing all this damage? Probably a barbarian. And this is no complaint. This is just me being happy that things are working, you know? I'm not trying to shame you into subscribing. I hope it's working though. It's more like I'm just really happy that the work I'm putting in, the hours I'm investing into YouTube are essentially doing exactly what I was hoping it to do. And that is, you know, creating another branch of income, of allowing me to keep doing this job, of not suffering the death of many creators. Because this is what happens to many creators. They have their hype phase on Twitch, and they stream crazy. I mean, I used to stream 12 hours a day, chat, right? They stream like crazy, which is unhealthy because they're hot on Twitch. And then at some point, that thing goes away, that fame, which is just normal, with like waning game interest and whatsoever, or the creator just stinking. Yeah, and then since you never build up a second leg, you know, a second business avenue, you're fucked. What's the highest damage you get with Necro this season? I think I did like, I saw 25 million with a corpse explosion, like around 25, like something, tops million. I think I could do more damage with an X-Files Corroded Signet if I really boost my critical strike and shadow damage. So I think I could go higher than that. Realistically. The thing is, that corpse explosion was just a complete normal corpse explosion. It wasn't any like crazy overpower corpse explosion. It was just a corpse explosion critical strike done, right? Whereas in order for my X-Files Corroded Signet to do anything like 50 million damage, I will need to hit the perfect shebang. You know, I would have to have my 100% multiplier multiplying. I would have to have my corpse tendrils tenderling. There needs to be the 40%ing, and like if everything comes perfectly together and in a petri dish, like, right, in a very, very low case use case scenario, if everything perfectly comes together, then there's a world where I could do like that high million damage with X-Files, right? I'm gonna quickly show you stats. I mean, we have 280 strength, 800 in willpower, dex. But you can't really try to copy the stats, right? Because I have stat boots. I'm playing something called stat boots, guys, int and all stats, which is really useful. I mean, these are actually the perfect boots. They have essence cost reduction, movement speed, int, and all stats. They're insane. Like, they're nothing is better than that. It's just crazy. So yeah. Wouldn't never have stumbled up on you if you didn't start YouTube. I mean, I've been doing YouTube now also for 11 years. I just have done it on and off. So it's actually really funny. I've done YouTube on and off. I started with Hearthstone guides, then we did PUBG, then we did some like auto battler stuff and all that kind of thing, right? But I've never found, like, then we did a lot of Warzone and that was really successful. But the highest amount of success I've had so far is Elden Ring and Diablo 4 chat. So Souls-like games and ARPGs is where I can create gaming guides for, it seems, and people love to watch me do these gaming guides and appreciate them. And will we make more Elden Ring guides with the Elden Ring DLC? Yes, you can bet your sweet little ass on that, guys. We'll be hogging that Elden Ring DLC as if it was a newborn baby that we have to cradle and can't drop. And we'll be absolutely like making like so many guides for this. Like you're gonna be like we're gonna make so many streams and everything. It's gonna be brilliant. So that's gonna be cool. And then we have like some other games this year that we're also planning to cover. I mean, I was planning to cover Pal World, but the Pal World hype is a bit down now, and I missed the train, right? I missed to create evergreen videos for Pal World. I can still do that, so there's nothing, like, we could still go into Pal World and full send it there. So wouldn't be problematic to also cover that one down. But I think there's also Nightingale coming, very good game, and there's right now Last Epoch, right? So you might, as a Diablo player, not be terribly interested in Last Epoch yet, but I think Last Epoch will be one of these games. Diablo season starts, Diablo season is fun. Diablo season stops being fun, play Last Epoch. Then Diablo new season comes, play Diablo. Diablo season stops being fun, play Last Epoch. You know what I mean, right? So this is right now how I'm looking at action RPGs. I think all year long, so you can expect all year long Diablo videos from me. But these Diablo videos will have also Last Epoch live streams. I mean, like, in case you missed this, chat, but we recently covered the Banisher. If you have not heard anything about the game, I highly recommend you checking out these past live streams. I will make better pictures for this, but these past live streams is the full playthrough of the Banisher, which is The Witcher in native America, like colonial American times. And it's so goddamn amazing. Like, it's such a crazy viewing experience. High recommendation. Path of Exile. I personally don't like Path of Exile. I like the leveling, but not the end game. Yes, it sounds crazy, but it is what it is. So Path of Exile is a very fun game with very good concepts, but whenever I reach the end game, I stop playing Path of Exile. So no, I'm not planning to play much, especially because Path of Exile has a horrible viewer experience as well. It is what it is. Sorry. Like, people like watching Diablo because Diablo is actually easy on the eye. Path of Exile is not easy on the eye. You know? So yeah, that's where I'm going there. But I definitely want to... I mean, I want to try Path of Exile 2 when it comes. And I hope, yeah. Every unhappy D4 player will be interested in Last Epoch. No, I don't think that's the way how it works. I mean, like, I think you should definitely check out Last Epoch and watch some videos if it's something for you. But Last Epoch is different in many mechanics to Diablo. And I think, like, Diablo has, like, its own charm to it. I mean, for example, no matter how good Path of Exile is, Path of Exile has never given me the same satisfaction to play as any Diablo game. Right? YouTube streaming would be amazing if you could play music. You can play music, but it's only non-copyright music. And honestly, I don't listen to much music. And if I don't listen to music, you can listen to your own music on the side. I think this works better with the CE Uber unique farming as well as Uber bosses. Oh, this one doesn't have much one target damage. Well, so I only have Varshan materials right now, but we also kill like Duriel in 10 seconds. But I only have Varshan materials right now. But just to give you a feeling for boss damage. Because for the people that, well, actually, let's do a tier 100 boss. Because people are still confused about, is this good versus bosses? Well, the thing is that this is not a CE build. This is a Bone Spear build that also has CE going on. And I don't have any bosses right now. Great, fuck that. So we only can kill Varshan right now. But just to give you a feeling for boss damage. We also have Black Myth Wukong, which is coming in August. Yes, Black Myth Wukong will definitely be covered. Like you can like absolutely bet your booty cheeks on that. I'll be hogging Black Myth Wukong like crazy. Scott, thank you for the 499 pounds. That's crazy. Crazy chat, Mr. Scott. Celebrating our success with that super chat. So yes, this is definitely the build for boss fighting and dungeon clearing. It's just I'm not joking when I'm saying this is the #1 Necro build this season. Like this is not me making like just clickbait videos. It's just literally from all the builds. I mean, yesterday, like in case you haven't seen it, we made a tier list video, and the conclusion of the tier list is that their Bone Spear is S tier, but this is essentially super S tier, right? So there's a tier list right now out of all my Necro builds we have made, of all the Necro builds this season. It's this video here. And we're kind of explaining everything. But it's just that Bone Spear does have technically a weakness, which is mass mob clear. Yes, you can Bone Spear to mass mob clear too. But still, left, right, and center, there's always someone who's going to be like standing. And with the corpse explosion attack on top now, you kind of solve this problem, and you're gonna be just perfect for the gauntlet, right? Thank you for the 2 gifted, Crambam. Cram, thank you for the new sub and the 6 months in advance. Did I understand that correct? It's a new sub and 6 months in advance, right? It's confusing how Twitch displays this. So yeah, I don't know what other games are coming out this year. Is there any crazy release we're waiting for, guys? Is there any game releases 2024? I mean, right now, I don't know what other like where's my games radar that I'm usually looking at? I don't know if there's like anything else coming. Oh, Dragon's Dogma is coming. Yes, Dragon's Dogma, but I don't remember when that one was coming. With January, with February right now, correct? We had Skull and Bones, but that was Sadness, Splatoon. There's the Thaumaturge coming out, which is also a very intriguing game. Dragon's Dogma is already in March, huh? Yeah, so Dragon's Dogma 2 is something I will definitely want to cover, which actually fits perfect right now. I don't know if you've seen Dragon's Dogma 2, but they have like some promising gameplay, right? So that's definitely something that this channel will cover as well. It's kind of like you play this fantasy character and you can play with your friends, right? And you have this drudge who's actually with you the whole time, and you can actually climb on bosses. I've seen this now in many videos where you can literally climb on the dragon or on the ogre, and you're sitting on top of him and you're kind of like trying to dash that sword like into his neck. Kind of cool. So I think this is also going to have very good guide potential to help people, like things you didn't know, basic beginner's guide, combat guide, best builds, like the whole thing that you usually do for these kind of videos. Not just playing through, but like helping people to play this through better. Dragon's Dogma is definitely something I have on the list. April has, I think, nothing. I mean, there's Stellar Blade outcoming, and I don't know, like, have you heard about Stellar Blade, Chad? So the Stellar Blade developers, they have a very fine detail for attention. And give me a second, children. Ja, bitte. Wer ist da? Möchtest du?
Was?
Ich arbeite gerade. Ja. Abschießen? Ja, klar. So, komm her. So, du musst die 2 drücken. Hier, nein, hier, die 2. Aber wir müssen erstmal wohin gehen, wo du abschießen kannst, okay? Any of us getting made? This is Tiny Home number 2. Aria. She is 3.5 now. 3,5 bist du alt, oder? Das ist der Ponyhof. So, jetzt musst du gleich die 2 drücken. So, Finger schon mal drauf machen. Ja, und jetzt die 2. Los. Nochmal. Ja, super. Nochmal. Und nochmal. Nochmal. Oh, jetzt Pause. Wieder laufen. Und noch mehr. Los, 2. Ganz viel 2. Die 2 richtig drücken. So, nochmal. Ja, sehr gut. Schießt du Raketen, siehst du? Nochmal. Siehst du, wenn du die 2 drückst, was passiert? Da eine Rakete. Noch eine Rakete. Cool, oder? Jetzt nochmal. Dann los. More energy, more footwork. Das ist die 3, die 4. Ich muss die 2 drücken. Du weißt, wie die 2 aussehen. So. Du musst aber hochgehen, damit ich echt kann. Nein, du bleibst nicht hier. Ja. Nein. Okay, I'm back. Also, is the game not 18? 18 is a, what is it called? Like, I'm allowed to show my children whatever they want. It's just not recommended. You know? Also, I think Diablo is really not in any way something a child should not see. It's a bunch of pixels doing pixel things. Okay, we were done with Stellar Blade. The Stellar Blade developers said they paid very much attention to the backside of the character. Quote was, "This is the main thing you're going to see during the game." So, yeah. That's why they paid incredible detail to that area. Oh, there's Homeworld 3 coming, so I'm going to be playing Homeworld 3 as well. And I think I'm going to also play Senua's Saga. Senua's Saga looks also pretty good from a trailer standpoint. I don't know if you've seen the game. It's like, it looks brutal, visceral, like very nice playthrough game. Like alone like from the graphical standpoint, like this is kind of like next gen graphics, right? So made for PS5 and Xbox One X. So we're going to get something like really, really good looking here. With like incredible like I don't know how the fighting system will be, but it just looks good, right? I'm kind of excited for. So there's a bunch of games that are really this year that we can make stuff on. But it's just always then Black Myth Wukong is obviously coming. It's just always for me the question, what can I make guides for? Because I just played the Banisher, as I just said, right? We played the Banisher. But I know that for the Banisher, like I'm not gonna be making any guides. There's no guide potential here. So I just played this to essentially play this through because I wanted to do this. You know? The Monkey Dark Souls is Black Myth Wukong. Okay, so now I would like to go on streaming, guys, and I actually promised you last epoch. But you'll have to wait for tomorrow. I'm sorry. So I wish we could go on. The build link for this is in the description. There's also like, we'll make a build guide for this tomorrow. But my children, or my very ill daughter with fever, has asked me to barbecue her some food. And like, that was not the plan for today, but she was very ill and she's finally wants to eat something. She hasn't essentially eaten anything the whole week or much. Like, she's like breadcrumbs literally. And she said she would really like to have that kind of meat. So there we go. We're going to get that barbecued now. So thank you for coming and watching, lurking, chatting, being here with me. Duly appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow all day long. And yes, we'll also have a Last Epoch evening release stream. That's why I want to play it now the next 2 days a bit on top of Diablo. That we can then like try out Last Epoch and see how we like this. So be ready for that tomorrow. One guide, one Last Epoch stream. We'll check some things out. And then on the 1.0 release, we'll also be there for like a cool evening release stream. Have a great good night. See you all tomorrow.